everyone. How is everyone doing tonight? How is everything? Hello and welcome once again to our daily Limbus Company Mirror Dungeon ID study and book reading. Let me just check if everything is all right on my end. Voice Limbus already all set to go. Today, topic of the day: pain. That's right, suffering. Horrible suffering, maybe even. We're about to see. Why do I say this mean thing? Why do I say such important? Well, as I mentioned several times in the past, you guys can recommend me a team to use on our mirror dungeon, following the rules of the dungeon, which are going to flash on the screen right now for a little bit, and then I'm going to make it cease to exist. Someone has asked me to do a G Corp Manager Corporal Gregor solo run. And well, we have done that run before, but we had Otis to give some support, but never a solo, especially not one with rules of the dungeon active. So today is going to be a very interesting one, But before that, we got team build, and we gotta do this quickly today because today is maintenance day. So not only we're gonna have a tough challenge ahead of us, we're also gonna have maintenance to race against. Now, I must say I'm very happy and in a very good mood because that raid yesterday made my fucking day. I never had 17 people watching me at the same time. It was great. It was great. Hello there, Havoc07. I do believe that's you're new here on the channel. I welcome you. Or if you're not new, do forgive me if I assumed you're new. I don't remember every single name, but hello there. How are you doing? Anyway, let's begin with our ID study part of the stream, which is taking a look at G Corp's Manager Corporal Gregor. The happy boy. Look at how happy he is. So happy. So full of joy. We have seen this ID yesterday in our run using the capstone for every season up to 7. So there isn't much to say about the ID itself. It's a season 1 launch ID. So really not much to talk about here. It has a very good ability to heal itself when it's on low health, gaining a 5% max HP after winning a class, which is just a version of his support on steroids because the percentage is no longer just 5, but it only activates when he's very critically low on health. And he, doesn't have a lot of health, has 103, that's not a lot of health. His skill 1, 2, and 3, there's not much to talk about. He doesn't have crazy rolls. His skill 1 is a 10, which is already one number below the average, but it has escalation based on rupture, which is a problem because again, rupture requires a lot of count. This hitting you remove rupture, but it's a skill. It's still very lackluster. It does heal by damage dealt, which is very good, especially if you're trying to solo. So skill 2 deals more damage. It's a 16 roller. It's very good, the 16, but it's a single hit skill. Doesn't do a lot of damage. That's why it has that 50% more, but no escalation. It does inflict the 5 rupture necessary to give escalation, but that's about it. And it also heals by the damage dealt, making him very hardy, very good to survive. And finally, we have Eviscerate. Eviscerate doesn't roll that high to 12 roller base, but it does have coin power plus 1 level of escalation. Again, based on rupture on target. This level of escalation gives it an additional 4 power on this 12 roller, making it a 16 roller. It does have a pretty nice offense level, but other than that, not much. And it does a lot of more damage. The target has rupture, but the problem is maintaining that rupture. And it heals by 100% of the damage dealt on the final coin, which is pretty nice. And finally, his defense skill is nothing. It does have a 60 defense level, which is higher than his base, and it's a 14 roller, so not much to talk about here. What we want to see here, since we're going to be running a solo run, is this unit able to fuel its egos? We have the sins of gluttony, sloth, and lust. We require gloom and lust for suddenly one day, so we cannot fuel our base ego, which is very bad. Because this base ego does give a very good ability to heal on top of the ID passive ability to heal as well. Let's see what egos we can fuel here. Let me just write down the base ID here. Ego resources. Hold on. It's glut, sloth, lust. Hello, Kisnib. Still one crazy number back in the day. I remember your glory days, Gregor. I remember using during Art Night event. Yeah, well, those glory days are gone. Maybe one day we'll get an uptype 5 which will make him very powerful. Who knows? Who knows? He deserves better. These IDs deserves a little bit more love, man. Maybe it's just me talking about like, oh, I want the old ID because I like old ID, but they deserve a little bit more love. I don't like to have redundant pieces. I don't like power creep. I don't like, oh, let's forget this ID exists because a new one came around, you know? In any case, let's see what eagles we can fuel with this ID. Let's start with the Tep, which is only Bygone Days of Lantern. That one requires Lust and Gloom, and Lantern requires Sloth and Gluttony, which we have by spade, so we can generate that. As for our He level, we need Gloom and Pride we don't generate, so can't use that. Solemn Lament requires Gloom and Envy, which we can't generate, and AD requires Gloom and Envy, which we can't generate either. So we are going to be choosing based on passive here. If the zone has a negative effect and one attack power external, attack target depending on eagle, collision, deals damage. I had to consume the target like I guess the best passive we have on hand would be offensive level down, defensive level up all enemies, slow power panic state 2 times. This will be a nice offensive defense level down if we were running Sinking. Since we're not running Sinking, this doesn't work very well. Solemn Lament is good for damage, and it does give an attack power up, so we're going to use that if we can fuel it at some point. And for a while, we don't really have much of a choice here because we don't generate any of the resources necessary. We don't generate Pride or Wrath, and we also don't have this smorgasbord that Guardians of Thorns require, even though Guardians of Thorns would be nice because of the Rupture. So we're going to have that equipped just because it exists. Right. This ends the ID study part of the stream. We're gonna go into team building. Oh boy, Gregor will require a lot of support to survive the rules of the dungeon today. So let's see what we can give him. Let's just make sure that we have it all down. He is a Rupture unit. He has Glut, Sloth, and Lust. Let's start with Iseng. Rupture Iseng. We have W Core Cleanup Agent or passive, which is for charge. We don't have charge, but we can get charged by his own ego gifts. But let's be honest, that's not it's just an extra damage. It's nice, it's an option, we'll keep it here. But I'd rather go with either something that can regenerate our SP or regenerate our HP, like Haitial Pack Brunch Adept, which has a weird healing. So I never remember how this healing works, so we're going to take a look real quick at it. So it's basically me just reading what's on the text here, trying to understand it for you. Apply the following effect to one ally that has the highest max HP. Since we are only using Gregor, that's always Gregor. Combat start. Gain affected unit speed difference between this turn and the last turn times 2 defense level. Max 5. If the affected unit was not an active participant last turn, use its minimum base speed to value to calculate. Combat start. If the affected unit is at less than 50% HP, and if the speed difference between this turn and the last is 3 or higher, heal 50 HP once per encounter. It is a very nice heal, 50 HP like that, but it's a very finicky to make it work. But the most appealing thing here is the speed difference defense level, so we're gonna go with that. Other options would be, let's see, Seven Association does give more damage based on, does give more clash power, but it requires a gluttony res. A clash power for this unit would be very nice, especially since we're not going to be running any Grace of the Stars. So I'm thinking about this one very, very dearly. We already have healing covered by our own egos and by our passive. Speaking of ego, I forgot one ego, which is the Zying one, Legerdane. Legerdane requires gluttony, sloth, can't run it. And it does inflict maggots, which is a bleed count. It's very nice. It's a very nice passive. It's an AoE with stagger. Might take that on top of, instead of Suddenly One Day, which is not an AoE. And let's go Legerdane. Bug with the maggot. I'm thinking about taking the extra collect power because we kind of need it. Yeah, we have gluttony aplenty, so we'll be able to trigger it quite a lot. So I'm thinking about using this. I usually don't use this because we're thinking about defense level versus the clash power here. I'll go with the defense level, and there will be other options for clash power. let's check out Faust. What can Faust provide us for assistance on this Rupture Boy? We have 7 Association Faust that deals more damage for Rupture on target, which is just a nice damage bonus. We have the House of Spiders Ring, the Apprentice, which will give bleed to the enemy no longer use the defense skill. Our defense skill, the guard, is not the strongest guard with no extra effect, so it's not very good. We show Faust with a Resonance gives us offense level up with... Yeah, we gain offense level up every time we inflict Rupture damage. That's up to 3. That's basically a Clash power. And that's nice, but it's only going to be activated like in the third turn because we are running solo. I might just take Lobotomy Eagle Regret because of the Clash power -1 against enemies. So, but again, this unit requires some Clash power because his skills don't escalate at all, and we are not running with any advantages whatsoever. We're not even starting with an Eagle Gift, so it's gonna be rough from the get-go. We need something to even the odds. Even though this one is owned Wrath, and we don't get Wrath, we're counting on the ability to find an Eagle Gift that will generate the resources we need. Other options. We do have Lust, and we have the one that grips for Sanity, but not gonna count on that. We can always take the Zwei for... but it's a Gloom Resonance. Let's go with Faust. Moving on to Dawn, we do have the Hazelpath Waybrand with her excellent passive, which is defense level down against enemies that have Rupture count or Sinking. Unfortunately, we do not have the Rupture count application necessary to apply that, neither do we have the Gloom for it. But we could, again, we're going to be relying on Eagle Gifts, which is always a bad idea. Let's see if we have something else that we can use here. Index Dawn is targeting the same guy. Key Association's more slash damage, and we are true slash damage, so that's always nice. Let's see, 5 owned Wrath. Depression work. It's similar. It's very similar. We do have Manager of Lamantaland, which is a Berserk kind of thing, where it's only on a Lust Resonance, or its Lust is skill 3. Would give damage up based on missing HP, which would be interesting, but how about a Sync Association? The Resonance can't even activate it. Lobotomy Eagle Lantern would give us a nice heal on focus encounters, which is something I kind of want, so we're gonna go with that. Ryoshu has a base passive that is very good for damage, but it will make us take more damage. We're gonna keep that here for now, unless we have something better. Cuisine will give us a nice heal per kill, which is 15 heal per kill. Very nice. Mao Branch, if I recall correctly, is just gaining haste. Drifting Blade gives us a shield based on poise, but we don't have poise default. Lobotomy, Red Eyes, and Penitence does give us like Health Hauler, Mind Hauler, but only an Envy Resonance, and we don't have Envy. Edgar Family Butler gives us more poise. LTCB Assistant Manager is G Corp Gregor able to get aggro for don't passive to activate. Good thing that you reminded me of that. I don't think we can. We don't generate aggro. Skills. Yeah, we don't generate aggro at all. So yeah, good thing you reminded me of that. I'm gonna go back then to Hazel Branch Dawn. Unless we have something else. D-Corp class, it gives us less damage taken against enemies with Tremor, but we don't inflict Tremor. W-Corp Dawn is final power on a Gloom Resonance, and we don't have that. N-Corp is for Fanaticism, this is for Envy, this is for Critical, this is Poise Burn, this is Bleed, I believe. Pierce. It's gonna be Weisho Dawn, unless this one has something good. Nah, it's Weisho Dawn. Not a lot of support from Dawn here, oddly enough. Drifting Blade gives a shield. This one gives us on a Lust Resonance, I believe. When we get hit, we inflict bleed and tremor against the enemy. It's nice, but our Lust only comes from skill 3. I'm gonna leave Base Rio here. Following it up to Merceau here. I am thinking about leaving base Merceau to take less damage, unless we have a better option here. Lobotomy Eagle Alteration does provide some sort of healing, but it's only on a Wrath Resonance, so it doesn't work. Ring Fulvis does give us a defense level down, or if an enemy has 2 times the negative effect, but we only inflict 1 for now. Rose Tanner Workshop does give us a clash power, but it's on a Gloom Resonance, so can't use that. DH Association South Section Director 4, I think it's discard the skill. We don't discard the skill, so we don't get any use out of that. That Rabbit's Boss does give us offense level down against enemies with Rupture on a Gluttony res, which is very nice. It's very powerful. Ooh, sorry. We can remove an entire clash power and reduce the enemy damage with this, but require the 3 Gluttony res. I'd rather take less damage. Honglu. Honglu, we are gonna go with K-Corp Honglu this time around. We gotta be careful, of course, because funny die, that poor clown. Actually, I never got that to happen. An ally died from K-Corp MPU. We gotta be careful about that. Or I'll try to be careful, I'll try to remember, but we're gonna go with this for the crazy healing. So no other options here. Heathcliff. Let's see. We are Flat Spears. We are Rupture. We have the 7 Association. As usual, has the funny, if you hit the enemy with a Rupture when they are weak to something, they take more damage. This one just makes us inflict more Rupture. Only if the target is fatal to something, which is, you know, very niche, but we'll put it there unless we have something else. We do have the Kurokumo Clan Wakatu, which is more damage against enemies with defense or max HP. 10% more damage doesn't sound like much, but it is very nice. Chi Association would give us more damage, but it requires Wrath Resonance. Incorm Kleinhammer is more nails. H.O. Pack Yo Brent that requires Wrath and Gluttony that we don't have, but it will give us the Clash power up, which is very nice. It's better than +1 Rupture. As for Ishmael, for Rupture, we do have Lobotomy Sloshing, but we need Tremor Burst, and we don't have Tremor Burst. Lovely. Zwei's Wet Association would be nice, but we don't have the pride to generate it, so we would need to find a gift, but that would give us a nice defense level up, which would make us a little bit more tankier. Or we could take the base Sinner here and gain more Clash power when we're low health, which we're going to be low health a lot. Hope, maybe, probably. This one is for Resonance that we don't have. John's Office represented with a nice SP heal. Peacock Captain is for Poise. This one's for Sinking. This one's for more blunt damage. LCB Assistant Manager is more Guard, Final Power on a Resonance. 2 more Guard would be nice. It's true damage we can soak up, but I'd rather have more defense level, honestly. Let's move on to Rodia. Rodia, how can you help us here? Let's see. We are Rupture, so first thing we think is the Heiko Pack. Allow with the fast speed inflicts Rupture damage to an enemy, inflict 1 offensive defense level down next turn once per turn. That is nice. I'd still prefer the extra damage, honestly. Extra damage from getting Wrath, which again we will require an Ego Gift. Bro, welcome Tio 19 MPD. How do I have everything? I've been playing this game for over 2,000 hours, so I had my chance to grind. I've been playing for quite a lot. Let's see. Rodia. How can Rodia help us? Oh, and by the way, if I sound a little bit low energy today, is because I am. It's very cold where I'm living right now. Usually Brazil is not cold and not built to handle the cold, hence the coffee late at night. So let's continue our build here. DHC Association Rodia. I would have to speaking blunt damage up based on the damage they took this turn. No good. Tremor class, that Clash power, but we require a Loft Resonance, and we need to have Tremor, which we don't have. Lobotomy Eagle Destroyed Sharpened with Tears is made for Sinclair, so it really doesn't make a difference here. We're not planning on going negative sanity, so not planning on doing that. It's either Hazel Pack or base Rodia, honestly. The Hazel Pack we can fuel because we have Gluttony, but base Rodia is a chunkier damage bonus, but we require the Eagle. Let's go with base Rodia. Unfortunately, base Rodia is very good. For Sinclair, Sinclair can't what can Sinclair do for us? Now, maybe they're gonna think about West Association for the tankiness, which we can trigger because of Sloth, and we have Sloth. Los Mariachis Jefe would be better if he had some sort of sinking, but that's just 10% more damage. We need tankiness, unfortunately, because we are G-Corp Gregor does not have a lot of health. And finally, Otis is going to be G-Corp. That random buff generator is no joke. Defense power up, protection attack power up is no joke. We're gonna go with that. I think I'm satisfied with this team. Let's take a look. Halo Pack Bread for the weird healing and defense level up. Lobotomy Eagle Regret for collapse power down on the enemies. Halo Pack Dawn for defense level down. Base Ryoshu for extra damage and take extra damage as well. Merso for damage reduction. K-Corp Honglu for life regen. Halo Pack Hate Cliff for clash power up at low health. Both Zwei Sinclair and Zwei Ishmael for more defense, Rhodia for more damage, and G-Corp Otis for random buffs. I'm satisfied with this team. That's how we're gonna roll. All right, let's get down with it. And today, again, maintenance day. We gotta do this somewhat quickly. And today, since it's maintenance day, it's Dogi time. Hell yeah. Before we start, however, let's review our rules of the dungeon. I do this every time, and I'm gonna keep doing it. So, this is my personal autistic challenge to make the mirror dungeons a little bit more spicy, a little bit more challenging. As we saw yesterday, we actually failed the mirror dungeon because we were a thinking team against Bokgak, Bumblehead Kin. So, we're not using Grace of the Stars at all, no starting buff. We're not using any Starlight. We're not fusing gifts with Starlight. We are not rolling for new packs. If we get the shit pack, that's unfortunately our loss. We are not starting with any ego gifts, which makes the ego gift pool completely random instead of being, you know, winged towards a direction or the other, depending on what you choose at the beginning. We're not healing our shops, and we're not reviving either. We have no revives, meaning even if we lose the sinner, we go to the next floor, we can't use the sinner anymore. Despite the revive, we can only use a maximum of 5 sinners, but today is a solo run, so that is going to be ignored. We can retry a fight up to 3 times with a solo run, which is today. But if we fail 3 times in a row, that is a loss scenario. And if we lose, we lose. We start again and we try at least up to 2 hours of stream, which is what I promise to do every day. And if it fails up until that time or maintenance hits, we're just gonna go straight for our book. That is the rules we're gonna be operating here today and for our dailies. So let's deploy our solo guy into the dungeon for maximum suffering. Smash my bug with a rock, I must. Maximum pain I must endure. All right, let's see. We got the Outcast right away, which I think it's fitting. And we also get the Maggots, which is very nice. Other options, we have Homeward here for healing at the beginning of the battle. Copy and Cranes will be fantastic for us because we can generate rewards. We're gonna go straight for the Outcast, honestly. We can try gambling for these 2 here at the beginning. I don't like gambling, so we're gonna keep in mind that he is weak to blunt, but I don't think any of the bugs on the Outcast do blunt damage. We're avoiding Inquisitors like the plague, man. All right, let's go. We got my Stogie out. It's time, baby. And yes, Thumb IDs very soon. Not for me. It's gonna take a week for me to get the Thumb ID, but I eagerly wait for it. Now, being a Season 1 ID, we do not have defensive stuff. We do not have clashable counters. We do not have evades. We don't have anything, honestly. So we're gonna have to roughhouse this very roughly. So let's begin. Oh boy, this is gonna be horrid. I hate focus encounters. All right, but it's supposed to be like a survivor. Let's see if you can survive. They have the same point power? No, they don't. All right, let's see the cockroach man do his best to cockroach his way out of this. All right, 2 attacks. Here we go. At the same time, I don't think we have any resources to generate our eagles, because otherwise we could spam the hell out of them, and that would be great. The good thing he has healing on hit for his attacks. I think that's what I'm gonna make him survive this dungeon, if he survives this dungeon. I like my scar because I am eager for it. Gotta generate those resources. Roger that! Don't get staggered now. We gotta heal that health back. He's so excited. He's so excited. It's I think that was on the first IDs I got. I think it was Hin. Besides, you know, Ikmael G, which is everyone has it. And I was like, oh, let's uptie him. Let's get him powered up, right? And I'm like, oh, what happened to him? I think that was the first shock of many people playing this game. Like, let's make the unit more powerful, and suddenly he's depressed. All right, we have damage reduction from Urso active, which is very nice. Bug on bug violence, baby. Don't you love the low level fights, which is like 1 damage, 2 damage, 3 damage? Which is, it's such a whiplash when you get to the Mirror Dungeon Extreme and you're dealing like 10,000 damage per attack. Show them why you're the alpha bug here. I'm still mad that we don't got our Corp Gregor for the Rhinoceros Beetle aesthetics, you know. It would be so cool to have a Rhinoceros Beetle Gregor, where his main move is just flinging people out of the map. Got a clean hit, baby. So how's everyone doing today on this fine Wednesday? Like I mentioned, today is very, very cold where I live. I expect most of the day in bed. I try to edit some videos, but I just realized I'm gonna have to sit through 3 hours of my own footage. 3 hours of my own footage, because I'm trying to make the Reflect Trials a video. Alright, this is going to activate the K-Corp Ampule. I never had anyone die for K-Corp Ampule, but I don't want it to happen, so you gotta be careful. I just realized that sometimes we might not have an option to activate K-Corp Ampule twice, which might be a problem, because our block is Gluttony, I'm fairly sure. This is a war of attrition, baby. Attrition is not well, attrition is a goal, not an objective. Something like that. Where did I read that? If you were released today in this modern time, have a rupture count neutral 5 point skills 3 that need 20% of damage inflicted max 30 would have a clashable guard. Yeah, because the only reason why they let this thing fly, like healed by 100% of damage dealt, is because he doesn't have a lot of power. But then again, the battles back then used to be lower stakes than this. There we are. Bug on bug violence, baby. You're taking like so long to kill these guys. It's so rude, but so nice. I like these lower stakes battles. Not a big damage number. I never liked damage numbers. I eat G-Corp Gregor. Oh my. Are we going to die from our own passive now? Let's see if he's gonna die from his own passive and choosing Honglu was a bad idea. Okay, no, he didn't die. He didn't die. Can we actually die from that? I'm eager to fight. I know, I wouldn't need a G-Corp Gregor. I don't think that way, brother. Tremor gifts, huh? Tremor gift, you say? Ooh, this is an easy fight. But it does deal blunt damage, and we are fatal to blunt damage. Nah, thank you. I'll just take the drink to go. I'd eat most IDs. Sorry, I don't swing that. I don't like eating the long pig. Back to bug hell, are we? Hell yeah! But this time we are powered up. Actually, we do generate these resources. What am I talking about? All right, let's start by doing a little bit of bug crushing. Crush them bugs, Gregor. That's why it's incredibly funny that we had Yuri die in the first chapter, and the first eagle I think he gets is literally the golden apple. Like, Ian, I know you went through a lot of trauma, and that was horrible. No one could have expected that. Here's an eagle of that same creature that killed her. Have fun. Right, we can spam the. I think we can spend the hell out of this. Because just free gluttony in one, free gluttony in one slot. We just generate those by the gallon. So gonna card Ledger Mace is like a lovely eagle, but Advancing Suddenly One Day is a little underrated. Suddenly One Day has a very good passive for him to survive. If we go back a few streams where I use the base sinners against Hohenheim, he survived the fight against Hohenheim solo because of that ego effect. But the problem with Suddenly One Day is that it's very inconsistent because it applies a bunch of effect, but you don't control which effect they're going to be used. So if you're like trying to make a tremor team work or something of the sort, you don't get the tremor application for it. It's gonna go random. If you had an AoE on its uptime, maybe it would be a lot better. It's just that Ledger Name, for being very cheap, it is an AoE, it's very cheap to use, and it applies a bunch of paralysis on the enemy, which is very important for boss fights and such. I wouldn't say it's like on up there with Chains of Others, massive debuff, but it's 5 paralysis is nothing to scoff at. 4 paralysis, Tremor Burst, and 6 Tremor. It goes exceptionally well on a Tremor team, especially if you have like Cavern of Wailing Honglu. The bug survivor. The bug survives. It does seem that his whole deal is like out surviving his opponents, outlasting his opponents, because he doesn't have a lot of HP and his stagger threshold is quite high, which is gonna be a problem in the future in this run. But he can survive. He is a survivor. Once he gets his health low enough and gets through his stagger threshold without dying, he starts regenerating health like crazy. And we also have K-Corp here to help. So we got a collusion of G-Corp's bug prosthetics and survival with K-Corp's insane survivability, which is going to be interesting to see. Maybe it's not just having the K-Corp ability, it needs to use K-Corp 4 times to activate death effect. No, it's having 4 count of the K-Corp until that triggers a death. Here we go. Turn start, a less than 4 count, heal by 2.5 max HP. At 4+ count, the unit dies. I guess we can go up to 4, and then if you use it again, we die, which is going to be a problem because literally our block is gluttony, so there's a big chance that we can die if we use the passive 3 times in a row. To be fair, they kind of shot themselves in the foot balancing because it kind of have to be random because 10 Flicker can bleed and eval even burns a lot. The reason why the branch knowledge is a totally insane eagle. Yeah, it's very good, but it's not count. If it was count, it would be way worse. A single pip of 10 is nice. But still, it's a nice, but inconsistent. That's the word I'm talking about. Inconsistent. You don't get to choose which effect it is, so you're gambling on 1 in 5 chance to get the effect you want. 1 in 5? Also, very funny that we are using an apple to fight against G-Corp here, because if you've been here around for when I read the Metamorphosis, the apple is what caused Gregor to actually die. Because, you know, he got an apple tossed in his back and infected, and he got really nasty. Yeah, I don't like that book. That book was very sad. Is the overclocked version more AoE? No, but it inflicts bleed and maggot. But it's good for negative XP, which we're not in. Get that health back, King. Don't even an inch. If they get a chance, they're gonna rip you apart. Solo fights are hard for older IDs. How are we looking right now? Ego resources are climbing up steadily fast. Every bug hybrid in the city fears Apple for some reason. I see people cheating on branch of knowledge, which is fair, but ever since Rupture became an incredibly good team that can maintain count, branch of knowledge has become pretty good, I think. Yep, because it's true damage. There's a reason why every single boss that we fight in newer contos or intervalos have a passive that reduces or caps the amount of any status effects they can do. Like, if you go look at my Lei Hang video, where I use the Kurokumo clan against him, because we have Sanguine Desire, if the boss did not have that reduction in damage from bleed, he would be dead a long time ago. Other example that I've seen being used a lot, do you know why certain bosses have a effect called Reflected Clash or something? It's like after 10 clash count, like they keep clashing attacks the same number, they randomly gain or lose clash power. It's because someone did a strategy where they apply a lot of bleed to a boss, use Sanguine Desire, and in the turn prior they use Chains of Others, so and have Mercil clash against that boss, because both of them will have like 0 power, and so they will clash eternal, no stop clashing, and every time they clash the boss takes bleed damage, and since they will never stop that clash and Sanguine Desire keeps the bleed at the same level, they will literally never stop clashing until the boss dies of bleed damage. So that's why they added the whole, if you pass 10 clash count, the boss gains or loses randomly clash power. True damage is very difficult to balance in any video game. It's either a nothing burger, like 1-2 extra damage, or it just completely shits over balance. Especially when we have something like Mao, Faust, which can cause it to nuke the enemy after, you know, hitting 3 times, which is the entire goal of the team, but, you know, it's very difficult to balance true power, true damage. Ideally, you wouldn't let it reach that level in the first place. You would keep it on a tight leash, you know. Never let it become too strong, but it already happened, and because of the gacha nature, we can't rebalance those. So all we can do now is, you know, band-aid the situation as best we can. Unless the director decides to say, you know what, my game, my rules, fuck Rupture, fuck Malfaust. Everyone gets nerfed now. But I don't think that will happen. What about this a lot? Is it weird that despite being probably the status that's gotten the most support throughout the entire game, Bleed has never felt absurdly powerful? I think Bleed is very powerful. I think Bleed is amazingly powerful, honestly. Alright, so here we go. We got Blue Zippo Lighter for the other resources that we're missing, but we don't have anything else for our boy. After hitting a non-target enemy by using a Gluttony Affinity skill or inflicting charm potency, we only apply 4 present protection between all enemies for all abnormality powers. We do have Gluttony Affinity skills, but we don't have anything that benefits having Tremor. We're gonna keep that for now. Give me a refresh. Scalpel is for the 4th. This is for the 4th. This is Burn on every enemy. I guess that's something we can use. Give me another refresh. We got Rick Guards, which would be very nice. We don't have Pride, so that's not the extra damage. I will gladly give Green Spirit if it means getting Wrist Guards, because damage up is better than just random Tremor potency. Bleed feels more reasonable. It's reasonable up until someone uses Sanguine Desire. It's just that in terms of, it depends on the enemy. While Rupture and Sinking, it only depends on you hitting the enemy, so you can have a higher degree of control over it. When the enemy pops like attack with a 5 point and they have 4 bleed with a lot of potency, you can't control where that is gonna go, you know? You don't have as much control over how the bleed is gonna proc compared to Rupture and Sinking, which only applies when you actually hit the enemy. So you can kind of count like, okay, this attack wins the clash, it's gonna hit 3 times and consume 3 Tremor count. I can avoid that by using a block attack or evade or whatever, if I want to maintain my rupture count. While if you're doing something like bleed, you really don't get a choice. You just gotta watch the enemy. The enemy is not gonna cancel his attack, so you can maintain your bleed count. That's why Sanguine Desire is so powerful, because it blocks that bleed count, and the enemy keeps wailing on and dealing damage. Right, we can stall this fight for a little bit longer so we can get more blocks. Would be nice. Good. That's good slots. Let's save this. Actually, let's save this skills through and tree for the next one. Get a little bit off healing here. Ready? Pretty much, yeah. Especially when a lot of enemies nowadays have some sort of, after this attack, it ends the turn. So if you use Sanguine Desire during those turns, you kind of shoot yourself in the foot, which is bad. Don't do that. Deal Canto 1. Isn't this a blast from the past, man? Look at this shit. We're using G-Corp Gregor. We're in the first Canto. We're fighting Doomsday Calendar. There is that original Limbus company soundtrack on the background. Isn't this like a blast from the past, man? What I meant to say is about bleed. I prefer bleed. I love bleed. I like the idea of cutting someone and, you know, they bleed and I do damage. Get out of there, dog. Fada, right? Sorry, the dogs are acting up. I like the idea of cutting someone and having a bleed, because swords, I like swords. It's just a rupture in thinking you have more tactical options other than hit guy and guy bleeds. We didn't do any dolls. I guess we're gonna lose some blood. We just heal it back up. Haha! The bug survives. The bug survived, and we are getting close to our forced activation of K-Corp Ample. We're literally on a timer here, huh? Not only for maintenance, but for K-Corp things. Oh yeah, if there was a thing with Desire for Rupture, there would be, the game was over. So some of the people that already like cleared a railway in like 2 turns per section are gonna take that, and the game ends in a single turn. Okay, we're in danger. We are in danger because we are running very close to having 4 skills 1 in the table. I might want to replace some of my skill 1s with skill 2s or 3s because of to avoid dying from our own passes. If you really, actually, next shot, let's try to replace his skill 1s, because if we need Gluttony Res, we can always just block. Are we actually gonna be able to kill this thing before you use the instant death attack? You know what? I'm gonna go all in on damage because we're gonna need that. We can survive a few hits, no problem. We have K-Corp Ampule. And they do flash, so we're fine. What's hurting us here is that we don't have any rupture application, any good rupture application, that is, because every hit consumes it. There we go. Full Gregor charge. The bug just went in there and just started eating the fucking calendar. Nice job, Gregor. Let's see if we can get some rupture for you, shall we? Give me the cost. We have an ego gift to generate resources, so... Alright, Coffee and Cranes. We just got the ego gift, so we don't need them. Lust and Gluttony inflicts maggot on target. They're enemy rupture, apply 1 damage in haste next turn. We'll take both of these. Alright, let's see if we got lucky. Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Chicken sounds like a good time. Not only got Tango Marinade here for Flash Power, we also got the battery. Emotional Seduction. Let's go Hell's Chicken. Hell's Chicken is good. Hell's Chicken we can survive. Ooh, but Hell's Chicken has some enemies that deal blunt damage, don't they? Guardian of Thorn. Give me a rose. Give me a rose. Go ahead, Gregor. Get yourself the gift that you needed. Ah, yes. 4 Rupture Potency at the start. And Gluttony Absolute and Resonance is gonna deal more. That's great, man. Oh my. Chicken's chicken, though. And we got a very good one. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it now. When inflicting rupture with skills against enemies, inflict 3 rupture counts 3 times per turn. This is everything we wanted. This is everything we wanted, man. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see if we can survive to get actual use out of that, shall we? Chicken. We gotta tenderize them chickens, brother. Bring it down. Tenderize them chickens with a little applesauce. Actually, that sounds good. Chicken with applesauce. I do have some money from apples. Might do that after the stream. Bah! I still find it amazing that we lose sanity by the near presence of these chickens. It's humorous to me. Alright, we are now count positive. No one everyone again, our chicken has some really good hits. It's amazing how good they are. Like the rupture count one, maintaining the rupture, that is insanely good. Drop that chicken. Where the chicken is chopped. Very nice. The ability to be able to fuel Ledger Day does offset the inherent disadvantages of running a solo, because on the very first turn you can hit 3 guys, and even if those guys do not stagger, they will be paralyzed, meaning you take less damage. So that is something that this ID has going for it, assuming you have Ledger Dang and G-Corp Gregor, which is really a problem. Now we are in danger though. Everything is blunt. Everything is blunt. We could use Guardian of Thorns, which is slash damage, and these enemies are weak to slash, which I think is where we're gonna have to do, man, because otherwise we are kind of screwed here. They're gonna hit and we are gonna stagger. I am 100% sure of that. We are gonna stagger this turn if we don't stagger a lot of them, or if you don't paralyze the lot of them to deal minimal damage. This is a problem. And they do inflict rupture. There is also that. I don't even bother with it. But it is, let's give it a first try here with a Ledger Ding for the paralysis so we don't take as much damage. But I think we're gonna stagger right away and then we're gonna die. Because they're gonna have free reign of our Gregor. Bob, Bob. Now a lot of these are multi-hits too. And there's a stagger that I talked about. Nope, not yet. There it is. Gregor's gonna die. Gregor is 100% gonna die. They are all attacking. Maybe he can survive. Probably not. I'm not betting on that. I'm not a betting man. One retry, 1 life lost. Ooh, my greed has blinded me. This is very, very bad. 1 block skill. Let's try Guardian of Thorns. Is Guardian of Thorns overclocked a little bit better for this? No, it's a -1. If this stagger a field, then we have a chance of survival. We can also overclock and try to get our sanity as down as possible to try and get past a stagger. I didn't hear no stagger, so that is bad. They got close to stagger, but no stagger. And stagger. And they are all going all out again. Oh, come on, Gregor. Don't let the green die. Don't let the green die. How many of you are there? Survived. We're alive. We're leaving. We're in danger. We are in danger. Go with Lantern. Guardian of Thorns can heal us, and Letter Day for a good smack. Oh, he's gonna get staggered again. Second try. I expected this to happen. We expected this to happen. We knew this was gonna happen. And they're going all out again. I am allowed to use Era to survive. I don't want to use Era, but I think I might have to. I'm gonna do something that is not specified in the rules, so I can do that. I'm allowed to do that. I'm going to re-roll until we get the enemies using a bit more of defense. It's ugly, it's bad, but you know, a lot of people that do this stuff also do that, so I feel no shame. We're gonna exercise our power of Chin, of saves coming, until we get a optimal timeline here. That is as optimal as it gets, 3 attacks. All right, I like that a lot. Go with Guardian of Thorns starting out. No, I can use Guardian of Thorns next turn for dealing. I think we find the optimal timeline. We're on a second retry. Then we have the third retry, and then it's over. And all those rerolls didn't count for the retry. Don't kill him! You're paralyzed! Damn it. That is gonna kill him. They're getting hit real hard. Come on, Gregor, live. Gregor, live. Gregor, live. I don't want to use Era right now for this, man, but I think I might have to. We are faster than they are, and we do have Eagle that can heal us. So let's do that. Another reason why we're dying so much is because they are all using sloth skills, and right now our sloth is fatal, so we're taking 4 times damage. I always forget. We always forget about sin resistances, don't we? They usually don't play a big part of the game here. That's gonna make us resistant. And Guardian of Thorns is gonna make us resistant again. And I need that. We're faster, so this should go first. All right, good. Good heal. Good heal. Good heal. Go. We're no longer able to get staggered, and we no longer take extra damage from the sloth. It was a mistake we did at the beginning using Ledgerding, which made us take 4 times damage. But it's looking a lot better now. We found the optimal time. We just have to survive now. Gregor is a survivor. He's a warrior. We believe in him. Maybe. All right. We're gonna pop another lantern for that heal. The good thing we have eagles for solo runs, man. What would we do without it? I have to avoid Ledger Day when the enemy is losing sloth attack, though. 32 health. That's pretty nice. No, not 32 health. We don't heal by the full amount. $16. 20. Time to lose that HP that you just got, brother. Ow. Everything is fine and then until the chickens fight back, huh? This is gonna be our downfall as humanity as well. One day suddenly the chickens are gonna fight back and we are not going to be prepared. Ooh, don't like how many of you are attacking us like that, huh? Is this gonna be enough? I think it's gonna. We're gonna activate K-Corp Ampule, so we're gonna have some healing now. It'd be fine if I was next to Papa Bongi in high school. We were remembering. Come to the Distortion Center tomorrow. Papa Bongi loads up a Bongi with salt, gets the ladle out. That's a nice heal. We got a nice heal out of this. The bug survives. Gotta be a little more tactical about using our egos though, because of the damage resistance. Alright, we are on Clash Central now. We can survive. We no longer need to rely on egos, we can just flash now. The only problem is going to be when we get later into the dungeon, when the enemy is going to have a high offense level, because we're not getting a lot of power-ups right now. We have damage up, some of them, but not anything crazy about our Clash power. Don't come to K-Corp tomorrow. Alright. Yeah, six. I believe it's the first time here on the stream, so welcome. It's not. I apologize. I don't remember everyone's name, but hello. So yes, it is the Gregor solo against MD. The green still alive. Two retries, but we got it. Do the little face coming on the timeline, but we got it. Next up is Papa Bongi. Papa Bongi has blunt attack, which is very bad. How many of you are there? Alright, we're under second activation of K-Corp Ampules, which is very dangerous. It's very dangerous, but we do what we can. At some point we're gonna have to use eagles to break up the gluttony resonance so we don't kill ourselves the K-Corp Ampule. Again, we need to replace some skill ones to avoid that scenario because we don't want that to happen. Well, that is the final try we have. He exploded because of K-Corp Ampules. Now we confirm that can happen. That unfortunately can happen, so maybe that will bite us in the ass. Let's try again. I found this ID kind of made it, but it's still a good Rupture ID. It is a Season 1 ID. What do you expect? Not a very good. It's not a very good one because it's from a different time. Hello, Project. How's it going? Thank you for the follow, TO19MPD. Thank you so much. Well, it's going. We're gonna have to retry the timeline here until they use blocks because G-Corp solo with the rules of the dungeon active is a bit hard. It's a bit difficult. That is not good. We'll try again. Ooh boy, this is rough. This is rough. Let's see. We don't have nothing that makes us resistant to sloth here. We don't need healing right now. We just need to stagger something. Let's try Garden of Thorns again. I know it's not the optimal timeline, but we did get staggered last time as well. Let's see how he goes this time around. It's a very interesting challenge. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. And again, so we got a nice critical on it though. I've been straight preparing for cut of 9 today, completing railway line 1, and I have 912 using level 60 at 94. Very nice. You're probably gonna need it. There are some tough fights ahead, even so some of them are a little bit on the assist side, where you're just watching people be cool. It's still gonna be very nice. It's still a challenging fight. Chickens are fighting back again. Right, we live. But we are faster than they are, so we can heal. Good, good, good. We're good, we're good, we're good. Hit them with the lantern, hit them with everything. Get that heal out, King. You need it. Nice glasses, by the way. Thank you so very much. These are prescription glasses, by the way. I don't use them just for show. It's also the symbol of the channel, my entire face. Come on, Gregor. I believe in you. Are they staggered, actually? Is this gonna heal good because of the stagger? I think so, yes. Why are April Fool enemies destroying him? These are not April Fool enemies, my dude. And, well, they are destroying him because, one, they deal blunt damage and were fatal against blunt, and two, they deal sloth damage, which were naturally fatal to because of Ledger Day. Alright, 1 block, 3 clashes. We can actually take on this, no problem. Again, we want to avoid doing green. Lacking Rhodia, Mercer, and Gregor at the moment. Don't know what to put on those. Any recommendations? I know basically at the moment are House of Spiders and Ricardo play. If you have Knight of Despair Rhodia, she's going to be very good at a particular fight. And Ricardo Cliff is good. Ricardo Cliff is very good for the upcoming Kanto. So if you have Knight of Despair Rhodia, use that. Let's see. We could activate one. No, not yet. Not time for Ampule. Let's delay our Ampule usage as much as we can. Also remembering, today it's maintenance day, so we have to do this dungeon quickly. This is our last attempt on this fight, however. If Gregor dies now, we're probably gonna have to restart the entire dungeon. I don't want that to happen. We got some really good gifts. And since we don't choose a starting gift at the beginning of the run, the gift we get along the way are completely randomized. Alright, they are overwhelmed with bug envy, because Gregor is very powerful. Let's do... Oh, we don't have enough for Garden of Thorns. Ooh. It'd be nice if you could use Garden of Thorns now, because they're gonna be hitting us real hard. Oh, but we're gonna... There's a lot of skills that are gonna heal us, so hope that's enough. We still have a stagger threshold, but we ideally won't get that low. I do love these fights that are more challenging like this. Something I always say here in stream whenever I finish a Reflect Trial or a Railway is that, well, I want more challenge, I want more of that, and when I come back to the Mirror Dungeon, there is not that challenge. Why the solo run though? Are you just trying stuff out? Solo run is because it's on YouTube. The description of the YouTube channel is that you can ask and recommend themes for me to use on the Mirror Dungeon following our rules. This is someone asked for me to use Solo Gregor, and so I attend the demands of my audience, my dear audience, all of you. So if you have a thing you would like me to try on the Mirror Dungeon following these rules here on the screen, you can head on over to YouTube. I don't have the link handy right now. I should put it on Twitch at some point, maybe as a pinned comment. Let me do that right now. Give me a second. Let me do that right now. That's kind of important. I'll have people on Twitch, and they're not trying to sell me AI viewers this time around. So let me get the link. I'm gonna put it on pinned on Twitch chat. Just a second, please, because I gotta go into my YouTube account here and actually get the link. 1 second. So there we go. Let me just copy the entire thing. There we go. I'm gonna put it here, and then we hit that pin message, and then manage and pin at the end of the stream. There we go. If you have a thing you'd like me to try, you can use this Google form to send a recommendation for me, and I will use it. Because we're friends, we're having a good time here. Let's see here. Podia, long way away from me now. I've only started playing with how the real Spider-Man produced. Basically don't have anything except that's already equipped. But I definitely keep that in mind if I have True Kanto 9 well enough. Well, aren't you in luck, my friend? Walpurgis Knight should be right around the corner, and you will be able to shard her if you grind enough with shards. So she is a very good ID. She's both tanky and a damage dealer. One of the best, honestly, for sinking. And she's going to be very good after in a certain fight. I'm not going to spoil you, but she's going to be very good in a certain fight. Alright, come on, Gregor. The green's still real, we just gotta avoid the K-Corp ampules. It's really funny that I literally went with the not only we have a timer for today for maintenance, we also have a death timer. Like right now we have no other choice but to get a 4 resonance that is going to trigger Honglu's passive. There is nothing I can do about it. We don't have the ego resources to negate that. We could do it with this, but it's still going to activate because our block is a gluttony one, so there is literally nothing I can do about this. We are going to get the Ampulus and you're going to enjoy it. Any thoughts about the new Rhodey ID that's coming up except that it's a buff for Ryoto? Not really. She does have a cool gimmick of Disposal, where if you manage to score a kill, she gets to use the attack again. A very nice callback to Library of Ruin, a Disposal card, which works exactly like that. If you have played Library of Ruin, there is a particular encounter where you get a boss that uses the Disposal attack, but start using on her own teammates when they're low enough in health. And if she kills someone with that Disposal card, she gains a copy of that card next turn, and it's powered up. So it's really, really scary when she uses. If you let her kill her teammates, she is going to come for you next. It's gonna be very rough. Rhodia kind of can do that, but not to the same ridiculous degree, thank God. But yeah, it's a Tremor Scorch team, it's gonna be nice. Tremor doesn't really have much in the way of damage unless you do cool gimmick with the specific Tremor types. Yeah, again, you have to use the Tremor Soul for that, like Scorch, Reverb, the other is Tremor Hemorrhage as well. Because let's remember, Tremor by itself cannot deal damage to health. It only raises staggered thresholds. It's very useful against bosses that have many staggered thresholds, but if the boss does not have one, or is resistant to get staggered, Tremor is shit out of luck. Unless you use Time Moratorium, but you're not dealing the damage from Tremor, you're dealing the damage from hitting someone, and then converting that to Gluttony. Gluttony, block. Here we go again. This is bad. This is beyond bad. If Gregor does not kill his enemies this turn, he is going to die from K-Corp Ampules. Let's hope he can kill. Go berserk, my little boy. Go berserk. Start killing, boy. Keep the dream alive, Gregor. Yeah, he can do that. He can do it. Yeah, we got it. We got out of chicken hell. We survived. Don't explode in blood, please. He explodes in blood at the beginning of the next turn. Whew. All right, we refresh. Any Mersault idea I should be on the lookout for? Well, we have Lei Hang Mersault, which is excellent. It's a lovely little ID, especially if you're going to for Tremor. We have the new one that is not new one, but Mentor Mersault. If you have what's the name? Skin Mersault. If you have Blade Lineage, which is good. Not the greatest thing ever, but good. Let's see who else. Do I have a single coin ID? I do, and that's gonna inflict a little bit of bleed. That's gonna be nice. Just 1 second. Let me just think here my strategy. We can upgrade this to give us damage up and haste. Let's go with that. Damage up, nice. This is gonna give everyone rupture that we need. Two skills that are very ego gifts are very good, but we don't have the resources to generate card yet. We don't need this, so we sell it. We could get the grimy iron stake for defense level down, which is more damage and a little bit of bleed. It's going to apply on our skill 2, which we are replacing skill 1 with that. Right, Merso. Merso has a variety of very good IDs. Leihang is very good. That is the Tom Capo. Bamboo Hat King just got a very powerful uptie for his abilities, which is again very nice. Merso from the Walpurgis is also excellent as a crowd control clearing ally. He's very good. I used him several times. I don't remember all his IDs from the top of my head, but these 3 IDs are very powerful. Leihang, the Hornet, and the Bamboo Hat King. Am I forgetting someone good as well? Let me just Merso. Merso doesn't have it. Blade Lineage has. I think that's the 3 big ones that I come to my mind for Merso. I'd have to check. I have a browser open here. I can just check. Sync Association is good. Not great, but good. Middle Little Brother. I actually love the Middle Little Brother. He is a 00 ID, so it's on the, the low tier of abilities and power. But I love him simply because he is a... Shit, we are weak to Wrath. And he has 2 Wrath attacks that are blunt. He is instant death right here. We cannot let this go. If we don't have a way to avoid it, we might have to use Pop Era right away, because I only have 1 slot. They have several. They are all dealing blunt damage, and this one is dealing blunt wrath damage, which we are doubly weak to. If we don't use Era right now, we are going to die. I do have a Middle Little Brother. Doesn't really work with a Middle ID. Yes, because he buffs the hell out of them if he's deployed on the field. But what I love about ID is the passive he has when he's warming the bench. The passive in particular is very good because it's just free health, free SP regen, as long as you have 2 units of the same type, of the same team deployed. Right, we literally have to use Era right now because we only have a singular slot to clash. And that is instant death right here. We are already gonna get staggered, but we don't get staggered while we are Era, so we gotta do what we gotta do. Okay, back to Merso. Roll Spanner and Beam. Dead Rabbit is horrible. The NC Association is okay if you know how to do the special trick with it. Prince of Elemental Land is again a very good one for giving support to Blood Fiends. He's basically built to give support to the Blood Fiends. There's nothing else we can talk about that. What else? Merso. Ring Falvist is Spiritual 0/0. He's not cool, not very good. W Corp Merso is okay-ish. He's another 0/0 ID in Spirit. He does have a very powerful debuff. N Corp Merso is only good if you know what the hell you're doing with it and if you have a N Corp team. Also, hello Blistuvius, how are you doing? Did the MD run today and it went super good? Very nice to hear. Right. We had to use Zero to survive, but... he's gonna get staggered. Unless he heals really good right now, which he isn't. That's a stagger. That's death, baby. No, mercy. We are. I don't think that's gonna be merciful on us. Oh! Let's give it first retry. First retry of this fight. Retry stage. Here we go. Again, we have to pop Era right at the beginning, or else we are fucked. Oh. Right. That Wrath weakness is tearing us apart, man. Right, as expected, we get staggered. but we can't die. That's the main thing. That's the main takeaway. We can't die as long as Era is active. Now we have to heal. We have to heal, and we have to win Clash it. Here we go. We're fast, good. I saw with the other host, House of Fighters ID. House of Fighters is pretty much built for solo, so it's a good one. It's a good one. I'm not gonna give you shit for it. Very good to know. You really helped me out a ton with this stuff. I kind of know what I'm aiming for now. That'll be rough. We're gonna wait for them, but it's still good. I need to have the story done, and now I think about other stuff. That's pretty much the way to go. If you're playing the story right now, just enjoy the ride, have a good time with it. Just understand that House of Spiders is a rough fights. You're gonna have to flex your knowledge of the game a little bit. It's not impossible, but there's a problem that Limbus has because got the game, you can get any unit at any point. The story. So sometimes you're gonna get just, oh come on! You're gonna get in a situation where the previous consoles were piss easy because you got IDs from the newest consoles, and the previous consoles were balanced around the IDs that were released at the time. And then you get to the later ones where it's again balanced on the IDs of the time, and it's super ultra harder because you didn't get the opportunity to practice because it was a cakewalk. Come on, Gregor, you were almost at sanity, but you're a survivor. I believe in you. Good. Anyway, the story so far has been a cakewalk because we got super powerful IDs. Not saying like Kanto 8, 7, or 9 or cakewalks, even if with powerful IDs, there's still some bosses with decent mechanics. It's just that you're gonna have to flex your knowledge of the game a little bit, practice your clash, your redirects, your debuffs on enemies, etc., etc. But it's gonna be a good time. I can guarantee you that. How is tuning the IDs I use? That is the correct way to go about it. Let's recall Sun Tzu's Art of War. I know everyone has heard of the Art of War, and it just says some very basic things. But some of those things that are good repeating and good thinking back about them. One of the ones that I say is something like this. If you know yourself, but you don't know your enemy, you're gonna win 50% of the battles you fight. If you know your enemy, but you don't know yourself, you're gonna win 50% of the battles. If you know yourself and you know your enemy, you're gonna win all battles. This applies on Limbus Company. How? Simple. If I know the gimmick of my team, whatever team I'm using, and I know how they work, I'm gonna win 50% of the battles. I don't even need to look at the boss passes. I know how my team works. I'm gonna work towards getting my power-ups, my ramp-ups for my units, and I'm gonna win 50% of the battles. If I know how the enemy gimmick works, well, I know how he works. I'm gonna avoid getting him too powerful, and I'm gonna be good. If I know both my team and the enemy gimmick, it's over. I won. So yeah, pretty much that War project. I'm gonna call you War project. Sorry. I got Tango Marinade. That is clash power that we desperately need. And then good potency. All right, let's see what we got here. Miracle in District 20, the enemies have a lot of gluttony and wrath skills and they're weak to pierce. Our most powerful skill is pierce, but they also have a shit ton of blunt attacks, which I want to avoid. Vain Pride has us squaring up against Kin, or if we're lucky, Hurtley. And Burning Haze has a very difficult boss fight for us. We're not gonna go here. This is gonna be very important. We're gonna go Vain Pride, even at the risk of fighting Kim. We don't have sinking, so we don't have to worry about that too much. So let's go over here. Ooh, a free poise gift. Hey buddy, look at your neck. You forgot something. Thank you. I had in quarter, let's see here. I got reinforced here to break my room because I didn't have enough help and apparently 2 revives weren't enough. Enough not to run out of revives to use era. I use user wasn't enough. I had in quarter. Yeah, Rian is a top cookie because he, you know, ignores. We don't have blunt gifts. This is useless. Hi. I love that quote. Hard fight so far was Dongback. Honestly, Dongback, it requires you to pay attention to her gimmick because if you don't, she is going to fold you. Everything was okay except right after Leihang. For some reason, the fell bullet content all won. Unfortunately, Leihang got Oh, come the fuck on! Not Inquisitors, man! Inquisitors are so bad! Oh no! We just got out of a difficult fight and we are going for another one. Oh, fuck me. Ah, come on, man. This sucks. Alright, let's try Letterdane. We're gonna eat a counter that is going to hurt. Leihang got unfortunately hit with the nerf back really hard and it didn't roll back. Critical, nice. Paralysis for everyone. Less than the damage. It's gonna be rough, man. They're gonna crush their bug boy. And stagger. No stagger? Okay. We have a chance here. Holy shit. That something saved us. We're still fast. We're still bleeding heavily. We still have fragile. Ah. Oh man. This stinks, brother. Letterdane and the Garden of Thorns. You gotta keep our health up. We are faster, then we're gonna go first, but that bleed is going to be a pain. Ah, my health! Oh, my health! I don't think we're gonna regenerate enough. Okay, do 3 staggers. That is good. That is more than good. Holy shit. Oh, my cigar in my mouth. Just do pretty easy. Yeah, Leihang was good before. Gregor, my buddy, you are screwed. Give it another try. Thought it was gonna be a little easier, but yeah, Inquisitors, funny. 3 counters. That is bad. And of course we're targeting one with a counter, why not? Let's do it. We have a weakness to Wrath that we cannot reduce without with any ego, actually. Anyway, Leihang was a fine fight when on release, but they hit him with a nerf a little too hard, and they never rolled back, which sucks. Lost nailing. Alright, that is 2 counters and a bunch of attacks. We could try Solemn Lament, which is a big nuke damage. I like it. Probably not enough. We could try wombo comboing. We don't have any regeneration from that, though. Well, that is 2 AoE blunt attacks. I think that's gonna do pretty good damage. Let's see how it goes. We're in our first retry, though. Right, Gregor, do your thing, King. Tango Clover deal 3 damage? Man, I haven't tried Leihang again after the nerf, because why would I? But goddamn, that's sad. That is really sad. Alright, that's a few kills. We didn't regenerate any health, which is bad. Come on, survive, live. No, stagger. We don't have a self-revive here, and we already used Era. Oh, that's death. Next turn, we're not gonna survive. There are gonna be reinforcements, and we're dead. Ah. Let's just use our second retry here. Really hope some of the Catalan fights will make him restart a couple of times and get a challenge for story for once. Here's the thing. The story is challenging if you were playing as it's released. Unfortunately, that's something the director likes. Because I'm gonna call back to the time where he was, I think it was on the art book for Library of Ruin. He said like he really liked early access because every time a new story chapter was released, he would see the reaction out of everyone. and it was like he was releasing a comic book, and he really liked that. There's nothing we can do here. But yeah, because of the gacha nature of Limbus Company and the ability to get any of the IDs that are more powerful in any point of the story, because it would be insane to limit your ability to get an ID in a gacha game based on your story completion. Not out there, but would be kind of insane. It led to a problem called... I talked about this a lot, but I'm gonna talk it again since you asked. You were talking about it. It's called ludonarrative dissonance. That's a mouthful of a word, I know, but here's what it entails. Since Limbus Company, like Project Moon in general, really likes the systems to be diegetic with the game, that is, everything is explained in universe, how it works. Like, oh, pulling for IDs is something that Mephistopheles can do in game. That's just a thing he does. While compared to, say, Lantern, need that heal, and then we hit the Solar Lament. Actually, invert the order. Anyway, since they love the diegetic thing about... Hold on, this one has more attack weight, but pretty shit. Let's go with the shoot for now. I think that the counter's gonna kill us if he doesn't stagger, which he will. In any case, ludonarrative dissonance. Since Project Moon really likes diegetic stuff, like explaining in-game why certain mechanics work, the fights are very hard because they're supposed to be hard. That was exemplified in Library of Ruin really, really well, because you could only get the pages as you completed the fight, so there was balance. There was harmony. We're gonna die here. That attack is not gonna heal enough for us to get rid of our stagger thresholds, because we have far too much bleed. Yep, and here it comes. Point. Oh, we're down to our last retry. I don't think we're gonna get out of this. This is our last retry. Anyway, Library of Ruin can only get the powerful pages as you completed the fight, so there was a challenge to be overcome to get more powerful. If you try to use the more powerful pages early in Library of Ruin, it will be a bloodbath, because they were not designed, the fight was not designed for that level of power. Same thing happens here on Limbus Company. The cantos are balanced around the units that were released at the time, but if you get a unit from later cantos into an early canto, it's going to be a bloodbath, because the canto was based around the idea that you wouldn't have those units. But because the game is a gacha, and you must have access to all units at all time, you can just, you know, put in some money, get some lunacy, roll, and you get House of Spiders Ryoshu, but you're on Canto 2, and then you deploy House of Spiders Ryoshu on Canto 2, it's a cakewalk, because they are much more powerful, because these units were balanced around the Canto 9, for example. If you're playing with a Canto 9 unit on Canto 1 and 2, it feels really easy, and it creates the problem of ludonarrative dissonance. For example, you were fighting Cromer Canto 3, right? You get all that fight, the cool music, everything, but the fight is super easy because you're using a very powerful unit. And then the game goes and tells you, every single sinner is dead, there is no one else to do, we lost the battle, but in reality, during the fight, it was a cakewalk. We barely broke a sweat, and no one died, unless you use House of Spiders Ryoshu to evade and eat a nurse father or something. So it creates this problem where we are being told something is happening, but in the game that is so diegetic with its systems, something else is happening. It's very difficult to balance these things, but it's the problem with the narrative the way it is. And, you know, Project Moon being very diegetic about how it uses things. Let's try Stolen Lament as the first thing, and maybe that will save us, because that will stagger for some people. Assuming he doesn't die before that. I think this is our last retry before we have to give up on the dungeon, because that is rough right now. Inquisitors are my kryptonite when we're doing solo runs. Alright, that staggers. No kills though. Ricardo felt like that, 5 blunt IDs into him, wipe the floor, then suddenly complete total extermination. Yeah, because he's weak to blunt, if I recall correctly. So you did good. That's nice. You use his weakness against him, you're good. Problem is when he has a cutscene loss. If it was a long, winded fight where you lost a bunch of sinners before you got to complete the total extermination because Ishmael is immortal during that fight, it would feel, you know, diegetic. It would feel cool because, like, all right, we're duking it out with this very powerful guy. We're losing sinners left and right. Ishmael is hanging there, being immortal, and then once you got him low enough, he just used his powerful skill, and it feels justified because up until then, he's been playing with you. He's just been having a good time playing with you. And then you get, you know, completed total extermination. It felt deserved, like he was playing with us, and now he's no longer. He's just going to, you know, kick your feet in now. But since you use more advanced IDs with powerful blunt IDs, he just got his ass kicked and he decided, all right, just gonna kill you now. Cutscene time. You lose. Hopefully these two healing eagles will prevent our deathly stagger. I'm not putting a lot of faith in us beating this fight, but I have been wrong before. 6 heal. This 10 potency and a lot of count is not good for us. Okay, we are still in the game. Lots of bleed, which is bad, but still in the game. We're fast, so our attacks always go first. We have 2 counters. We could pop another Durante for Superbia and hit them with the ding attack, but we're low sanity, so it's not going to be as powerful. We could overclock it and have it wipe the board, which isn't going to heal us, but we could follow it up with a few other egos, which I think is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the tools at my disposal to try and survive this, because right now we're in a bad situation. Yeah, I don't care about corroding. I do care about getting my health back. See how he goes. Preferably I wanted Lantern to go second because we... almost all our attacks are single points, so it doesn't matter. Get... Dwarf that health back up. Very nice. Solid Lament, full power. Very nice. Very nice. Obliteration. But now we are gonna take it. And hopefully our Ego Corrosion next turn is gonna be a good one. Because here comes the reinforcement. And it is Slaughter and Lament. That is a good one. That is a good one. That lead is still very likely to kill us, but now we have a chance. Because Ego Corrosion will override any stagger, so even if he do start hitting us with those counters and all those attacks, we won't get staggered. We're just gonna have infinite lead. And this unit does not have a clashable counter to which he can negate bleed entirely, which is, you know, the whole thing about clashable counters. And none of these eagles that we're gonna use is going to be able to heal us. And anyway, enough about ranting about the story. Unfortunately, it is how it is. It's the necessary evil for Gacha. Project Moon needed the money. They found their money on the Gacha, and so that was very nice. That was really cool. They managed to, you know, be able to become independent, don't have to sell out to anyone, and do the story they want and the way they think they want. But you're gonna have a problem if you enter the game, get a very powerful ID, you go through the fight, and you're told that you lost the fight because, you know, haha, funny. The guy just playing with you, you know? He was just messing around. What do we do here? These are 4-coin skills. That's gonna trigger a lot of bleed. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna use single coin skills, and we're gonna be very nice and very nice. We're gonna be very nice, very calm, very cool and collected about this. Okay, Gregor, use your eagle first, warp up some health, and then call it a day. Okay, we got through the fight. It was difficult. We used another Dante power, which is very bad because we already used twice. We used Era and Superbia. Okay, we got out with most of our health back. That was difficult. That we down to our third retry, And I hate Inquisitors when I'm fighting solo. And we have another fight to go. We're not going in here. That's bad. We're gonna go over here, and we're gonna cover this. We're 0 standing right now, and very low, and both with stagger. Oh, it's these guys, and they have blunt skills. They have a lot of blunt skills. Who likes blunt skills? I do. Not good either. Now we're gonna try. You guys are weak to select, and they are all using blunt skills. God damn it. How lucky am I today? Let's try to do our funny again and overclock as much as we can. Alright, here comes the pummeling. Maybe I should have overclocked from the get-go. And here comes the one-sided pummeling once again. If Gregor survives this, I'm gonna be very impressed, but I don't think he's gonna. Come on, Gregor. 58 damage, and we just got started with that pack. That death. That is death. They have a lot of multi-hits too. Death. Retry. First retry for this fight. Ooh, this is gonna be a long one, boys. Ooh, boy. This is gonna be rough. As rough as it gets. We could try and re-roll until they all get counters or something, but I don't want to do that. We could try using Ledgerding for the paralysis. Let's go. And stagger right off the bat. No, that's that. Even if we do survive, which we won't, because we're just gonna die now. Second retry. This is gonna be harder than the Inquisitors because they started with additional slots already. No, they don't start with additional slots, but one counter. And we're slower than they are. You know what? Instead of wasting my second retry here, I'm just gonna re-roll until we get them with a few more counters so that we don't have to worry about it. Or we go faster. If you go faster, we try maggots, Ledgerding, so that they get staggered or at least paralyzed. Yeah, we're gonna abuse our ability to retry the fight until we get a better starting position. See a counter. And we're still slow as balls because they are very fast. We don't have Dante powers, and this is a solo run. Let's take a look. One counter, two counter. That's a little bit better. We're still slow. Multi-hit attack. Maybe Lantern to survive. Ledgerding would paralyze them. Overclocked. Don't stagger. That's a stagger. Oh well, I already started this, now I gotta restart it again. We can start the fight at the beginning if you want, but once we hit that go button, it's punishment time. And punishment is coming. Death is coming. But we can get lucky. We have gotten lucky before. And the red skill. Death. Final try. I don't want to be filtered by fucking Kanto 2 enemies, man. Oh man. What can we do here though? What can we do? One counter. So many multi-hit attacks, man. Pass, motherfuckers. I'm gonna go again, try and get a new timeline here. This timeline sucks. Let's go for a new timeline. This is just like Austin in my campaign. He keeps rolling Desperate Struggle. And now we have 3 counters. This is the most optimal timeline. But we're gonna eat like a shit ton of counters. We use a big AoE here. Bad. That is 2 counters we're gonna eat if you use the skill. But we really don't have much to do here. 36 damage, 37 damage, 33 damage. This one's gonna go first. Then we are gonna go, and then these 2 are gonna go. If you use a lantern to try and heal, that is going to be... Well, first we're gonna no longer be Sloth Fatal when we use this Eagle, which makes us resistant to Sloth, but it's still rough. Guess that's our only option right now. Get your health back, King. You're gonna eat a lot of counters now, which is gonna be bad, but we gotta try. It's not a lot of HP, I'll be honest, but not a chance. Bop, bop, and that's a stagger coming in. Ah! I really expected something was gonna happen, and I'm surprised we lived this far, considering all the challenges that we stacked, the difficulty we stacked on this run. But let's see if we can get lucky again. Did we get lucky again? Oh my! There is a possibility. We are paralyzed, we have plus coin drop, which is, okay, not very good, but hey, I don't care. We're gonna go in and we're gonna go hard as we can. Don't use legendary or else we're gonna become fragile against thing. We are faster than everyone else, so our attack will go first. We're gonna heal a lot out of this and hopefully stagger them. Can we get lucky again? Can we get lucky again? It's 100% chance to corrode, so I don't even need to use extra reverses. Gregor, win, heal, fight. You rolled a 5%. Oh, there's that screen that we know and love. That's 2 staggers. Hopefully the heal is there. No, the heal is not on the corroded form. It does not heal. Come on, big heal, please. That's as best as we can do. Come on, come on. Okay, corrosion. This is our chance to live. Finishing reading Moby Dick yesterday. It took a long ass time. That was pretty good. Though I enjoyed it. We're doing Don't Help Me Now. Quite enjoyed this book. I heard about Moby Dick is a lot of the guy talking about his time whaling. We're gonna get to that. But again, once we move our Limbus to weeklies, we're gonna move the book reading to Saturday or Sunday as, you know, a special little treat. All right, we're faster. We have 3 healing eagles slotted in. Let's hope for the best. Will he get lucky again on the 3rd try? This is the 2nd time this has happened, so it's kind of crazy. 2nd time? No, 3rd time. First one was against the Cape Corp Bongies. 2nd one was against the Inquisitors. 3rd time against these guys. This is not a great amount of healing, though. But that's a good amount of staggering. It's difficult to kill this bug, I'll tell you what. We could use a little bit more healing. And so we are. We use everything in our disposal here. Got a clean hit. There we go, Gregor. Very good. I don't like spamming eagles, but when a solo run, that's necessary, right? That's your trump cards here for damage resistance, passive, and all of that. Go. Let's get it done. Gregor has the advantage now. Even the coin power down, which is -4, which is fucking insane because these guys have really powerful debuffs, and we're still doing good. Boy, I'm gonna take a bite of my papaya after this. Being here on my side for a while. I don't like eating on stream, but hey, gotta do what I gotta do. Fruits are good. Sweet. Sweet and tasty. Now watch, we're gonna get Kin as a boss and then the run's gonna be over. Because on this pack, we were entering the pack, Vain Pride, to try and get the self-revive that he has. But there's a chance of getting Kin, Bamboo Hat Kin. Not the Botgak version, but still Kin. And while we don't take a lot of damage from Slash, it's still a difficult boss. It's Pierce Pride, it's not Kin. Okay, we're good. We're good. Voodoo Doll, hell yeah. Rusty commemorative coin, I like that. Got good gifts all around. Give me a Refresh Bartender. Oracle kind of blows. Let's enhance that doll because that 2 power down is gonna come in clutch. Ooh, okay, the green remains alive. It's very difficult to put Gregor down. He's a true survivor. I was honestly I was honestly expecting that it was gonna be the end of the run there, but he survived. He survived once again. That's a running team for this ID, isn't it? Alright. These guys have a Blunt and Pierce and Slap. Mostly this guy. So we're gonna deal with him. This is gonna be an easy fight. Maybe. Most likely. They don't hit really hard. It's just that they're gimmick that it's a war of attrition. And who better to win a war of attrition than G-Corp Gregor? Apparently. Or Gregor in general. All his eagles seem to be healing him a lot. We don't care about Slash, we don't care about Pierce. We only care about not getting hit with those blunt attacks. There's Rusty Coin acting up. Time, 153 already, it's still 4-3. As expected from a solo run with an underpowered ID, but we're gonna get there. Time, we have an hour and 10 before maintenance hit eviscerates us. Right, he's doing good. Look at that! Look at the rupture application. We got Papa Bongi's gift, so he's hitting like a truck with the rupture. Most of the damage is coming from rupture, though. Alright, since we love the city we live in, we attack that guy. The only thing we have to be careful, really, is disadvantageous fights like those with against blunt enemies. And using too much gluttony so we don't get killed by the injected ampules. You know, when I do this solo run, I did say that rules of the dungeon is that we get retry fights 3 times at least. I'm gonna get like a cutout of the Sinner's head. I'm gonna put it on stream here with an X tree, like the amount of lives they have. As it was like a platformer like Mario or something. I should do that because it's funny. Ooh, no, no. Okay, there we go. Thought it was gonna be an infinite clash. Rupture goes up. Investigate the factory. Kill the big guy. Rend in asunder. Go. I got clean hit. cold, baby. I still have to do dinner. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Probably gonna eat the beans I had. They were some delicious beans. It really doesn't get cold in Brazil, but today's the exception. It's very cold today. Didn't get anything done because I spent most of my time in bed. Was trying to edit my videos, like I mentioned before at the beginning of the stream, but looking at my reflect trial videos, that's 3 hours of video that I'm gonna have to make time to edit. And you know, if you have 3 hours of video, that's like maybe 6 hours of editing or something like that, because it's a lot of editing to go through. It's a lot of footage that you have to watch and then cut and then glue it together and all that, which leaves them very little time for anything else. The what, Miss Moises? What the hell? Who are you talking about? Go. Keep slicing them up. If you could get late bloomer tattoo, that would be great for him. Goodbye, my friend. You're the best soccer players I've ever seen, but now you are dead, consumed by bug. We reached floor 4 at 2 hours. Gregor is doing well. He's doing something. Not well, but he's doing something. We got... Oh, come on, man. Come on. Jeez, these are bad. Bad all around. Ah. 15% damage would be a bit nice, but... here we go. Someone on chat is named the Lesbian Mist. I don't get to see the names of people in chat, so I'm gonna believe you for it. I'm gonna believe you. Imposed weight. First aid kit. Or sun shower. That is true skill power, true attack power, but lose health constantly. But this one requires a sloth resonance, and that's healing below 50%. Imposed weight of first aid. We don't have good clash power, and the enemies are going to start piling up on the defense level. First aid kit would give us some survivability, which is the main theme of our guy. Let's go for imposed weight. We can get first aid kit later. Alright, let's see. Suicide, jolly fat guy. We're gonna for the jolly fat guy. Jolly fat guy deals blunt damage, but I will go for the jolly fat guy at any moment in time. Oh, level up? Huh. Let's go. That's gonna give us a good advantage, but we're gonna have to gamble. And who is going to gamble for us? Alright, we're counting on V-Corp Otis here to gamble for that level up. Let's go. And hell yeah! That is gonna give us a very nice boost. Go to an unfocus encounter. Unfocus encounter. If you were a color fixer, would you rather have it relate to your baldness, such as the pale dome, or eccentric professor persona? Honestly, I would go both ways. I wouldn't mind going both ways. Pale dome is crazy though. Thank you. The pale dome. Alright, we're gonna go straight away for an eagle because not only these guys are all blunt, they are all good sloth as well. And sloth is bad. Blunt is also bad. This is another disadvantageous fight for Gregor. I'll leave my hand in the face 50-50, yeah. But yeah, if I were a color, if I could go for red, I love red, but I do yellow as well, but we already have the yellow harpoon. I don't know, a pale dome is kind of crazy. I don't know if there's a white color fixer, but maybe pale dome is cool. And eccentric professor persona, that's cool, I like that. I already roleplay as Gabblegoose a lot when I'm playing Abiotic Factor. Which is, Gabblegoose is a name I stole from another tabletop, which is a cool name. I like it. I feel no shame of talking about that. Okay, we survived. Ooh, thank you for using that block over there. It gives us a nice advantage in terms of hitting first. Gabblegoose is my like cryptid mad scientist character that I like on my tabletop. I love him. He's a cool character. He's like a scientist with no morals. He's a mad scientist with no morals. Genius chemist and turn people into goo. his main method of attack is that he has gloves. Think like Roland's gloves, but instead of like pulling out weapons, he can inject people with chemicals by touch. It's like a pair of gloves. It has a texture of Velcro. If he touches you, he's injecting something into your bloodstream. You don't even feel it. That's his special thing. So if you don't know him and you go for a handshake, he will immediately put trackers on you, so he knows where you are at all times, and you know he's gonna get information out of you like, your blood is like has a lot of sodium. You should probably watch out for that and stuff like that. But yeah, eccentric professor persona. I like that. I like that a lot. Never thought myself as an eccentric professor persona, but now I am. Thank you. Based off Gabblegoose, the name is from somewhere else, just found it a cool name. His full name is Dr. Leopold G. Gabblegoose. I'm basing him off a little bit on the Medic TF2, Dr. Destinova from Battle Angel Alita, and who else? There was more inspirations for him. Well, I think it's mostly Medic TF2 and Dr. Destinova from Battle Angel Alita. Because he doesn't have morals. He doesn't have any qualms about being a clone or anything else. His personality, his sense of self goes beyond the concept of being a self. So, for example, he makes a clone out of himself, right? And then the clone kills the original. He doesn't care. Because, well, I am still Gabblegoose. I am still me, regardless if I'm the original or not. Which is funny because I've been thinking out some lore about him, especially in the world of Project Moon, and his field of research is not just chemistry, it's more about trying to find the essence of the human soul. And since he doesn't care about the sanctity of life, has any morals or anything that gives spiritual structure to him, he's going at it in the most deranged way possible. Just as you motive and animated person have quite a lot of energy in these streets. I do try to put a lot of energy. I do enjoy Limbus a lot, and streaming is fun. I get to talk to a lot of people. I get to talk to you, my dear audience. This is an easy fight. It's just a matter of patience here, and nerds feel. All these level glazing right now, you will be rewarded for your glazing. Don't worry, every glazer eventually gets their rewards. I can't wait for Otis to totally not betray us during her canto, when she's given the choice like, you have to serve Limbus company, or you gotta go back to your wife. Which one's gonna be? And of course her choice is, I'm gonna go back to my wife. We almost got something like that during blunt, unfocused fights, huh? Ooh, man, oh man. This one is a rough fight for a solo non-evade character. I want to try avoid that. We're gonna go up here, there's no other choice. Blunt, unfocused. Anyway, Canto 9, we almost got something like that, but I'm not gonna spoil it. It's such a silly decision to do that. Kill Sinclair for free, but without really turning my family over to sinners. Kill Sinclair for free, we already do that. God damn it, it's Blunt again. Come on, throw me a bone game. Why do you have to do this to me, man? We have to change our ego weakness, our team weakness. And they have green as well. Fuck. They are throwing every single enemy with Sloth Blunt against the Gregor, man. What did he do to you, game? What did I do to you, game? Why are you doing this to me? Let's try our best. I think we have Fallen Laments to deal big Blunt damage, man. That is not enough to stagger. Time for a beatdown. My health! My health is gone! Why did you do this to me, game? Okay, there's it now. Oh no, we got a revive. We survived. How funny. Thank you, game. Oh boy, this is rough. It's still gonna be rough. But with a single revive, it's a lot more tolerable. Let's try to do our healing combo. We got at least rid of our stagger thresholds. That revive gift was worth the suffering because that's gonna save us so much trouble, man. What I really like playing about my MB is that Muga was playing the entire time, sever until it's done. I know, I like the Muga team, but after a while it does get a little tiresome. I'll be heading off to sleep. Hope you have a good rest of your time zone. Thank you, War Project, and see you next time. I completely forgot we had the revive gift. Guys, that screen. Also, what revive eagle gift? We got the for the city you love from Hercules just now. This one right. Yeah. If an ally is at less than 30% HP when hit, said ally heals 80% HP and other allies heal 40% HP next turn. Once per encounter, because healing beyond max HP is applied to shield. If the ally needed 50 HP due to the above effect, gain 3 defense level up and 3 defense level down. Which is, you know, very nice. Let's overclock. It's time to release the beast once again. We gotta go. We gotta release the beast. It's not exactly a revive, but you know, if you're staggered and about to die, it's a good thing to have. Maybe we didn't need to overclock here, but I'd rather play on the safe side. I don't want to repeat the previous fights. Ding! This is a single coin skill. We get to use it again. Ding! And I'll give him my health back. I need it. Sweet! Still alive. You get the second round. He's helping him Eagle. We have this cryptid moving through K-Corp right now. He's turning into various monsters as he fights. It's still going well. And he's gonna do it again. Welcome! Welcome to the Slaughter Zone! Welcome to the SCP Zone, brother! Gregor's gonna show you a fun old time. Lots of tentacles, lots of eyes, lots of horrible cheatiness creatures. This is what Frying Crying Shooter feels like. There's more and more phases of bullshit. Yeah. How do you react to this, man? One more time, because we have Rusty Coin. Sanity? Don't worry about it. To be entirely fair, I do feel that whenever we use too much Eagles in a solo run, we're not winning the fight on the ID's capabilities, but rather through abusing Eagle. I don't like that very much, but hey, it's T-Corp Gregor with rules of the dungeon. I am going to use whatever I have to win. And I have been using it. We have an hour before maintenance start. We gotta pick up the pace, Gregor. Stab, stab, stab. Look at that. I like that voice for this ID though. That voice for this ID is very good. It's a very stark contrast to what Gregor normally sounds like in all of his IDs, honestly. This is the one that the voice work stands out the most for me. Except, of course, with the fire fist on the room side, you know. Alright, we're probably gonna have to do that again. Because I'm not fighting this solo Gregor. This is a difficult fight for a unit like this. So we're probably gonna have to fight K-Corp again. But now we have the method, we know what to do. And we do have a way to revive after getting staggered. So, Yep, K-Corp again. Cryptid time. We do need to use Lantern so we don't go completely tapped by the sloth weakness. And this guy is a blood sloth, so very bad. I really prefer Fire Fist. Fire is the next thing that we want to try and build. It only got 3 builds already. Fire Fist is very good and it has a simple mechanic. The mechanic is deceptively simple. It's more like once you run out of fuel, you want to reload with your block. That's it. That's all you need to know about him. He pretty much has charge, like 100 units of charge he consumed with his attacks. Once it's below 50%, it becomes more powerful. And once it reaches 0, you no longer get the benefit, but you just hit, you know, a block and you reload. All right, let's see if we're gonna survive this one. We healed. So many. Oh, goodbye. One retry consumed. Next one, please. Oh no, it's gonna happen again. Oh no. Oh no. It's happening again. But hey, we got Fallen Men. Very simple, nice kid. We don't want to be used to win an overheated fuel. Probably don't want to be at 0. Pretty much, yeah. Once you're at 0, just use that clashable counter, and you're not losing a turn because clashable counters are still an attack. And because of what's it called? Because I think it's on combat start. So if you have a skill tree but you're out of fuel and you don't want to be completely, you know, out of everything, you use it, and at the start of combat you have your card back. Fucking attack. The way I hate this attack because of the fact that he glides towards you every hit. There we go. We survived. You are in for it now, brothers. You are in for it now. You messed with the wrong bug this time. You messed with the wrong guy. That's a lot of tremor attacks, huh? We're gonna overclock. Not a lot of reuses because we're low sanity, but the objective here is low sanity. Corrosion isn't a goal, it's an objective. We got still 10 nice shield for that overheal. Very nice. Didn't corrode. But we got rid of our stagger threshold. These guys can stagger. This guy can tremor burst. I don't remember they being able to do that, but 8. All right. Start to heal from those dismembers. Funny that we consider that K-Corp whole thing is about if you get dismembered, it's gonna be hard for you to heal, especially if it's your head gone and our main attack here is just dismembering. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a necromorph. Maybe if one day we get like a facade, just like we got for Bumblehead King, we can get some like necromorph looking G-Corp units. I think that would be cool. Let's do 2 lanterns again. I will say it's getting a little. The solo run is nice, and we got through some really hard challenges. It's getting a little stale. Because that's one problem I have with doing solo runs. After a little bit of seeing the same attacks over and over, and basically using the same strategies, it does get a little stale. Because once you got enough slots to clash, the enemies don't put much of a fight. That is both the advantage or disadvantage of running solos, is that because you are only limited to the kit of one ID, you are going to be powering up the ID to the maximum. You're going to be doing a lot of absolute resonance to power them up even further. The only downside is that you only have one ID, you have to survive until you get to that point. Go. Maybe because I'm saying this right now because this unit does not have like a a hit with a gimmick. He heals on hit and he deals rupture. That's his gimmick. So it's not really that interesting to see, to play as. But at least the challenge is coming from the difficult fights that we have to, you know, get lucky with a few eagles or use them in the right order to actually get through the fight alive in one piece. Yeah, but in the meantime, we can chat it up. We can have a nice time here, enjoying this cold Wednesday. And we still gotta hurry up because maintenance is coming. It's moving over the horizon. And we're still on floor 4. Hopefully we get a long fight on floor 5. If it was Garden of Thorns, I would be delighted. We still have our book reading to go through as well. Which again, I'm gonna move it to Saturdays or Sundays because of the whole, you know, I'm not gonna maintain at the end of every stream when we start doing weeklies. Right, focus encounter, a little easier because we can actually manipulate the fight a little bit better instead of just reach your team and survive, Gregor. And wouldn't you know, it's the fucking bowling balls. We have to use this because I do believe they are weak to blunt, right? And bloom. Oh my, this is gonna be a bloodbath. Kinda. Mostly we're gonna use this eagle to get rid of our sloth weakness, so we don't get absolutely shafted by these guys. But a good amount of them will die from this. And not as strong as I expected it to go, but strong enough. Rarely get to see this ability. And stagger me, baby. I get a bite of my papaya. All right, okay. Let's see. They got rid of our stagger resistance, or sloth weakness, so now we just gotta heal up. It's not gonna be a lot of healing out of this, and it's gonna be another stagger, I'm fairly sure. Let's avoid that. Double the lantern. Double the lantern, double the healing. Full health. Oh yeah, they're weak to gluttony as well, aren't they? That'd be nice. Very good, very good. And now the fight goes on as usual. Just a nice little smooth ride until the actual boss fight that it comes. And 4-5, and then we'll be done. I'm, again, mentioned that before, but surprised that Gregor is doing this well. It wasn't easy, but he's doing pretty damn well. He also got lucky with lots of gifts, too. It would be better if we got something like a few healing gifts. I don't think we got any healing gifts, as a matter of fact. Aside from For You Who Love the City. We're just coasting by on our very potent ego healing. Ego healing sounds like something else. Struck! Alright, more balls, please. I'm so hungry. So many balls. It's getting downright orbular in here. My Supreme Omega default Gregor concept skill 2 gets ring, send, coin reused with its true rupture on 1 count. It's skill 3, it's count neutral as well. Each coin makes a 5 deal 10% of damage. With 5 burn, it spends unique damage for something triggers. Assist attack, he gains, Jesus Christ, he gains stagger recovery. His guard gains base power equal to every 100 rupture feast spent. Lovely. At this point, just give him like the roaches that he gets on his fight on Keto 9. The shield roaches. And the herding roaches. Which are very scary, by the way. And got a clean hit. Come on, Gregor. There's 2 more balls to go. You're not done with your orbital trials, my friend. Very nice, very nice, very good. Special contract. Fuck yeah. That is fine. That is good. Old wooden doll? Whatever. Finally, we got to the floor 4 shop. Holy shit, we're finally here. Oh, that is good. That is nice. We're gonna get upgrade that immediately. And Barbie Lasso would be nice. Lust Absolute Resident. Let's see if we can fuse something here. I want the tier 1 charge gifts, but we don't really have a lot of fodder material, like at all. Everything that we have here is pretty good. We don't have fodder material at all. Okay. Biovenom Prejudice. That is a bit of healing at the beginning of the fight. And we don't have pride, so get use that. Another refresh. Lash. I guess we already got a banger gift out of this. Don't need anything else. Just increase this one. Those potency. And go. We got a little critical hit for Bugger Boy. Stagger someone the Road Emperor next turn. That is gonna be Limbus company at the end of like Paradies though. Gregor deploys, immediately turns into Roach. Dawn take off her shoes. Ryoshu unsheaves. And Ishmael is there. She's rooting for everyone. Go Pingo. Right, so lots of blunts damage. And this attack goes off for free at the beginning. I forgot about that. But thankfully, he has a lot of. He heals us and gives us an offense level up. This is one of the best abnormalities. I love him. I know he's like supposed to try and eat us and drink us or whatever, but I love him. He's so charismatic. Look at this guy. His animations are great. His encounter is great. He's just a cool guy. He's just a cool pet guy. He's just happy to be here. It's a war of attrition here, baby. We finally reach our objective. We're gonna ignore the cup for now because I know the cup only is necessary in the turn that he uses the attack. God damn it, Gregor! Fucking funny coin did us dirty. Are we still tipsy? Are we gonna remain tipsy for the rest of the fight? Good. Gregor with the evil aura of the war. He's having intense PTSD right now for getting drunk. He's getting powered up. He's gonna go into that drunken rage. Melancholic drunken rage. Are we still tipsy? Yeah, hell yeah. That is going to... I do believe this just staggers him. So, have a good time. Have a good time. Just, actually, we're gonna go for the broken arm. Of course we're gonna go for the broken arm. Let's see here. Oh yeah, G-Corp ult is all her skills get reused, its skill tree getting 4. It also just does burnout, 15 HP, give it a corner to defense, 0 ammo dies, because her sport attack still more so than her. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the last time I played with her, she was doing alright. Not great, but alright. Again, we're doing all this, even though we're abusing Eagles and he used 2 Dante powers, we're doing all of this in the dungeon. We're doing okay with all of this shit piled on top. There we go. Maybe because we're getting lucky with Eagle gifts. If we didn't get some of the gifts we got, we would be screwed. But they're doing alright. They're doing alright. Let's gain a 10 per gift. And nothing. Lovely. Floor 5 with 30 minutes to go. Birthday kid, hell yeah. Now another way to survive. Okay. These all suck. Gregor is not surviving monastic experience, so it's not even going to be considered. Sinking the loot has a chance of us finding the goddamn whale or Dombe, and Dombe is an immediate loss of the dungeon. And inert slot, we are weak to slop. We can't go into inert slop and risk getting our shit kicked in. So we're gonna go for Sinking Deluge. There is no other option here. Let's hope and pray for either whale or this creature and hope that we don't get Dombe, because we have no way to mitigate these stacks. Jesus Christ, what are we waiting? What is going to be here? Alright, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's pain. Lots of pain. They are weak to no damage types that we can do damage to. How wonderful. How yummy scrumptious. We don't have Carmilla to weaken these encounters either. Usually Carmilla would stagger them right away. Let's count on the nuclear option then. Let's use Eagles to get our sanity down and then spam the hell out of Eagles, because this is gonna be rough unless we get lost or they don't stagger us. I didn't pay attention to our sin resistances and what type of resistance they do damage to. It sins that we're fine for now. We'll see. It's gonna be a stagger. Just checking, Dawn Sinclair is still good, right? Just level him up. He's good, it's just that he's very unstable, as pretty much all Sinclair units, powerful Sinclair units tend to be. They are very mentally unstable. You need someone to maintain his sanity up, or else he is gonna die. First retry. He's still powerful, he's very good. He has a good AoE, he can fight crowd, he can fight 101. It's just that he's gonna be, you know, his sanity is gonna go up, down, up, down, up, down, as it usually goes. They're doing Gloom Lust, right? Gloom Lust, and I think I saw some Pride there. No, just Gloom Lust. How are we with Gloom and how are we with Lust? Normal against both. This still will be giving us like resistance. Yeah, both of them give resistance. Pop that Eagle, go for the nuclear option. I actually threw up in my mouth calling Sinclair good. Oh. Some Sinclair has one purpose in life, is just to give ammo to Layhang and do Tremor Scorch for some strategies. Deviat Sinclair, I played a not a solo, a duo with Deviat Rhodia. They can do well. It's just that they're not very good. They have to finish the fight very quickly, or otherwise they get shafted. Come on. Don't let him become chum. Don't let him become bait. He's a cool idea. I like the gimmick of the Deviat. It's just that there's not enough Deviats right now for to rock and roll a full team. Evo mode activated. Gregor brings religion to fishes. This is like the miracle of multiplying fishes, but you know, in reverse, we're dividing them. And we're gonna do it again. Very nice. Thankfully, these things lower our SP and they deal sinking, so we're gonna be seeing a lot of corrosions. A lot of corrosions. And we lost our staggered crackle, so now we can go into the offensive with our skills. And even if you do get hit, that just means we're gonna corrode again. So go ahead, fishies. Do your best. Do your best. Come on, hit me. I dare you. You're going down, bros. Oh, my sanity. Oh, no. Where's my sanity going? My sanity is going to the negatives. I wonder what's going to happen now. It's the miracle of dividing fishes again. Fish. We're gonna do this 3 times, by the way. Yeah, jump off assist, I just forgot. Shame on you, it's such a good idea. Such a fun idea to use. My ego resources are going away, they're gone. Because these consumes 2 or more of every type of, yeah, it's all gone. With the fishes. And get rid of our stagger threshold. You know what I missed from previous mirror dungeons? Back during Kanto 7 or 6? Kanto 6. We had Guidance of the Stars, which was a buff you could buy with Starlight permanently on the mirror dungeon, which just removed one of your stagger thresholds, which was very nice. But also the only one of the few mirror dungeons that had a unique name for hard mode, which was called Ritornello. Well, nowadays we just get the normal and the hard MD, which is, you know, less flavorful. Alright. Focus encounter coming up next. What do we have here? It's just the guy. It's just a. I never realized this was like a centipede. I always thought it was like some priest creature on top of like something like lying down. Alright, let's bet. Damn it. Dagnabbit. 2 more fights to go, and we are short on time. Alan Gregory becoming one of my favorite IDs after the wall while Ishmael sits in the waiting room. They work well together. I like Hanafuda Ishmael. It's very fun to play. Gloom, huh? Gloom with that's a lot of blunt damage. God damn it. Why do they keep sending blunt damage after me, man? What did the bug do to you? I'm just a small guy. I'm just a little guy with a bug arm. Why do you have to do this to me? But at least there's less attacks to take care of here. So let's just do our best. There was a grave digger type leaning on a shovel. Kinda, yeah. It's kinda hard to see what it is because it's such a dark picture. Yeah, Gregor. Eat that thing. It's gonna be like a jumping spider putting a little droplet of water on top of his head with his creatures. Eat that one. Do you think if you use the idea against Valentina, she'll lose sanity? Because she remembers the war too? I honestly love when IDs have unique interactions with bosses, even though they're mostly reserved for the capstone IDs. But for example, if you bring Butler Ryoshu against Nelly on Kanto 6, yeah, she actually says something. I wish there were more interactions like that with random IDs rather than just the capstone ones. Although the capstone ones are still cool. So far so good. Because we replaced one of our skill 1 with skill 2, we're doing pretty good avoiding the death by injection. Because I'm holding it and heat with gummies that might have an interaction with their nurse father type. Interesting. Will? Check it out. Actually, does any of the nurse fathers have any interactions with their nurse father fights? Because I don't think they have. I never tested it. Because you don't get to use Honglu and Faust. You get to use Faust, but not Honglu against Calypso. Honglu is doing Matthias. Otis is with Dante doing that. Maybe they're the only two to bring an equal to fight. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I just scratching my back here. Here we go. Here we go. Just kill these creatures. Let's be over. Let's be done. Dude, there's only one boss fight to go. As a group, at least, yeah. One. Imagine what's it called? Heathcliff and Lucio gang up on the original Valentina, just kill them. They look into each other's eyes. They're like first turn, they look at each other, and there's like they go to a clash, but they stop. There's like 3 dots on top of their head as they look into each other's eyes and realize you have it rough too, huh? Wanna kill them? And they just start killing them. Big rupture. You're not dodging the bug attack. And that. Very good, Gregor. Very good. Stand up game. You know, I prefer long fights. I want Mirror Dungeon was this a string of fights, and hell yeah, we got a very powerful extra power up here. Nice. I wish the floors of the Mirror Dungeon was actually just one long fight. When you select your path on the dungeon, and then you fight one fight to get to the choice, and then you continue fighting without pause, without break. I think it would be cool. It would be cool. Yeah? Water bomb, busting gloom. This is the big guy some apprentice and toys secret. They wouldn't kill the nurse family. She was on life support with old Limbus. Yeah, they have been, they have been domesticated. If you're gonna go for the dog analogy, which they do it themselves, they literally were domesticated. Thank for the Decapulus for having evade skills that I can't ignore. It's such a blessing for solo runs with Decapula fights. Because one, they're not difficult. Two, most of them have blocks, counters, or evades that we can just ignore because it's a focus and counter. It's very nice. I love it. I love it. Gotta leave. I'll bring you something to eat. Sorry. Taking a while. You listening? Hello? Hello? You're gonna go up? I'll take you something to eat. Sorry it's taking a while. How do you feel Heathcliff skill 1 boom posting? I have seen about it. I don't see the issue with it. Plenty of ideas. It's a skill 1. Who the hell gives a damn about skill 1? You're not playing the skill 1 is the skill you use when you don't have anything else to use. If you have an evade or a counter, it's still better than your skill 1. So I haven't read their kits, mind you. I only read the kits once I have them in my hands. But if it's supposed to be like a assist attack, it's perfectly fine. So I really don't even have a skill 1. Skill 1 is a nothing. Well, can you put them outside? Take the put them outside. Why is the thought about it? Anyway, sorry, I was talking to the other person here in my room. Yeah, no, people are just looking for something to complain, you know? Let me, just a second, let me take care of something here. One moment, I'll be right back. Sorry, dogs wanted to get inside, but we're not letting them go inside because they're supposed to be out there. Anyway, let's see here. I think it's rather silly. Imagine you'll probably just be using the clashable counter setup in multiple times. We're going to be using the system. The fact that having had less and less of crack like the Hell Universal skill isn't that impressive. Yeah, it is just a skill 1. It's your basic attack that is very weak. You want to probably use a clash block counter instead, so you get the benefits from your block skill, your defensive skill. And if you're using your skill 1, it's because the enemy is staggered and you don't have an eagle to use that will do more damage. Skill 1s are skill 1. That. So people are just looking for something to complain about. Because the duo of the Tom duo was very eager. Oh, there's a cat here. I didn't see that. Was a very eagerly awaited ID. There was a lot of hype behind it. And now that they see it, they want to complain about something. Give me a random gift. What do we get? Reverberation. That's useless. Alright, we finally at the boss. We're gonna make it in time. It's I'm gonna take the brass ring. Thank you very much. That's very good damage up for me. Thank you, my form empties. You're my favorite abnormality. Did you know that? Alright, he was actually up there. Painkiller. Hell yeah. Tangled bundle, we don't use lead. Starlight aroma. Right, the boss that is coming is gonna be very difficult. Ooh, we gotta prepare ourselves well here. That's an enhanced gift. We don't have the tier 1 UPS system, which we kind of wanted. Kind of need it, to be honest. Oh. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Keep that. Anything else? Yeah, throw that. Come on, come on, come on. UPS, UPS, cantable. Come on. Fine. We do a charge. Where's our damage up, man? I'll take this one. That one's very good, actually. God damn. Come on. Give me UPS system. I need it. I want it. That is actually Clash Power. Clash Power. I like Clash Power. I'm not gonna lie. But we got one card gift. We can't activate our card attack. Sacrifice. There was a level 2 that could sacrifice this one. Come on, come on, come on. God damn it. One more time. Give me your cup. Fuck, damn it. We're out of money. We don't have gloom, so we're not getting the power up. I just want the UPS system. Just want the UPS system because that, fuck, I'll take it. No, the lighter we need to be able to use certain eagle effects. I'll take this one. Fine. I'll take bleed, potency. Fine, that's fine. I'm not mad at all. I'm not mad at all. At all. I'm not mad at all. We sell this one to get some money. Enhance the flash power up. And I guess we're selling the Rift Guards that I like so much. Without the ability to gain cards, I'm kind of close. This one is just going to give random allies, more poison, more poison. This one gives us final power, which is nice. It's very good for the She Association, it's very good for us. We got out of this shop at least 3 power-ups, I think. Slash, Pride, Sloth. Gonna be Dombe. I have a gut feeling that's gonna be Dombe, but either that or the fish. Okay, no, it's neither of those. Okay, whew. It's just going to be bad because it is all blunt damage. God damn it! Why is it always blunt damage? Get me out of this! Get me out of this place! Come on, man! It's always blunt damage. It's always blunt damage. There we go. We're just gonna have to. Isn't this fight that was bugged in the mirror dungeon before? I have no idea, man. But it's always blunt sloth damage. Blunt sloth damage. Predator is weak to blunt and sloth. Why do the game wants to kill me? It's targeting me personally. Let's hope, since it applies sinking, let's hope we can corrode. Ah, here we go. Ah, here comes the fun time. I hope they fix that. They fixed it. Okay. All right. Hey, creature, you foul creature. Let's do it again, shall we? I'm gonna make excellent use of your sinking and the fact that I don't have skill slots for it. We're gonna fight creature against creature, monster versus monster here. I think actually, now that you mentioned the Kisnip, I do believe that at one point I did try a solo against it and I wasn't getting skill slots. And I wasn't aware of that. It was so long ago though, and it was before I started streaming. Alright, beat me down. Drop me down, creature. Is that all you got? Gregor says, vomiting blood. Alright, how are we gonna do healing here? We could have guarded a 4. We're gonna be soon, so might as well. Roll with the punches. Is Guardian of Thorns actually gonna make us weak to block? No. It's gonna make us resistant to Slust as well, so it's not all
선물이라고 할 건 없고. 자, 이걸로 대신하지.
One more time, corrosion, baby. Gregor's pissed off. We're already gonna corrode. Hell yeah. And we're already rolling really high. We even with low sanity. Look at it fit, man. We're doing great. Throw me down, creature. Come on, show me what you got. Let's get freaky with it. Monster battles. It's very fitting for Gregor to be like on a solo run, constantly corrode, given the contents of his book and, you know, the metamorphoses and all that. That he's constantly getting monsters and more monsters as we subject him to the mirror dungeon. The big thing that we're stalling before he does the funny painting mode, because we need skill slots to be able to clash. One more time, one more time. I wish when we had like multiple users of the same corroded eagle, it would just reuse the coin instead of replaying the whole thing over and over again. But like, not like reuse, a full reuse, but like it just continues on the same animation of dealing damage until all the uses are completed. I am the butler of this manor, yet I do not recognize your faces. I cannot help but be wary. Perhaps you seek to mire this manor again in sorrow. If you claim otherwise, then allow me to inquire. Which of these portraits is that of my master? Who will answer? Gregor will. Gregor confidently steps forward and points a finger at one of the portraits. The monster stands still for a moment, then replies affirmatively. You are very familiar with my master. Though you are an interloper still, I see no bringer of sorrow. The monster, still holding a portrait, appears somewhat less hostile. Gain true defense level down. That's garbage. Alright, well, let's get that sloth resonance so we can more. Love, baby. Now the fight is even after a little bit of monster fleekiness. Why exactly did this guy get 3 eagles? Is this anyone's favorite? Good idea, I don't know, man. Most of the eagles are thematic one way or the other. Ah, we know which one is this. It's the one that has like a little X on it. But we're gonna kill you before you do anything. Die! The bug is pissed off. The bug is angry. Just kill that one just for fun. And the bug is angry. Gregor is fucking done with this shit. The dungeon tried its best to kill him. He sent blunt slough. Blunt slough. And Gregor lived. Gregor the warrior. Gregor the survivor. Kill him. Kill him with extreme prejudice, Gregor. Dismember him, pluck him like a succulent little snack. Just... Gregor's gonna go at this creature like a mantis. You know how mantis grab bugs and just like... Jesus Christ, Gregor, kill it! We're seeing war cries over here. Jesus, I thought it was gonna be a lot harder for him, but holy shit, we fucking did it! And before maintenance, solo Gregor with Rose of the Dungeon. Holy shit, Gregor! Well done! Holy fucking shit! A little bit of violence there at the end. I could feel some anger seeping out there. Despite the best attempts for this dungeon to kill us, we fucking did it. Well, what else is there to say? It's G-Corp Gregor. He is especially surviving, sort of, maybe. Don't do this. You have better use for Gregor nowadays. But in any way, that is our mirror dungeon completed, ladies and gentlemen. That is our ID study complete as well. So you know what comes next. That's right, book time. Well, if you are here for Limbus Company gameplay, you know what it is. If you've been following the streams, we are gonna do book reading now. That means no more gameplay. Just get my dividends here for this trial that we undertook, because it was a trial. The dungeon wanted me dead personally, but we did it. We succeeded in spite of its attempt. In any case, nothing to report, Manager Dundee. Yeah, there's nothing to report. Nothing happened. Nothing happened in the dungeon. Nothing happened with those Inquisitors. Nothing happened with K-Corp Bongies. Nothing happened with those guys from the casino. Nothing at all. No, sir. Don't know what happened. Anyway, let's get the book reading ready. I'm gonna get some water because I'm thirsty. And once I come back, we're gonna start reading our book. I'm just gonna set it up here so you guys can see. There we go. Right back. Full of water. All right. Oh, wrong button. All right, here I am back. We're ready to read our book. So last time, Crime and Punishment. Raskolnikov has finally confessed that he did the crime, but he confessed it to Sonia. Sonia was the daughter of Marmeladov, a drunk he has met in a tavern before he committed the crime. The guy stole money from his family to drink. He was a human garbage bag as well. Raskolnikov gave the last of his money to his wife, the wife of Marmeladov, for the funeral, since the guy died after falling drunk in the middle of the street and the horse crushed him. And now Raskolnikov, because I don't know why exactly, they don't have really that deep of a relationship, but I guess it was kind of integral for Raskolnikov to get losing out of the marriage with his sister, but he confessed to her that he did kill the old moneylender and her sister. And now, as they were talking about this, Lebeziatnikov, the roommate of Luzin, the guy that pretty much saved Sofia from going to jail because he saw Luzin putting a 100 rubles bill into her pocket and then claiming that she stole it from him, appeared on the door right after the confession. Let's begin then. Chapter 5. Sorry, let me mute Limbus. Lebeziatnikov looked anxious. "I've come to you, Sofia Semyonovna," he began. "Excuse me, I thought I would find you," he said, addressing Raskolnikov suddenly. "That is, I didn't mean anything of that sort, but I just thought Katerina Ivanovna has got out of her mind," he blurted out suddenly, turning from Raskolnikov to Sonia. Sonia screamed. "At least it seems so, but we don't know what to do, you see. She came back. She needs to have been turned out somewhere, perhaps even beaten. So it seems, at least. She had run to your father's former boss. She didn't find him at home. He was dining at some other general's. Only imagine this. She roughed off there to the other generals, and she was so persistent that she managed to get the chief to see her. Had him fetching it out in the middle of his dinner, it seemed. You can imagine what happened. She was turned out, of course, but according to her own story, she abused him and threw something at him. You could well believe it. How she wasn't arrested, I can't understand. Now she's telling everyone, including Amalia Ivanovna, but it's difficult to understand her. She's screaming and flinging herself about. Oh yes, she's shouting that since everyone has abandoned her, she will take the children and go into the street with a barrel organ. And the children will sing and dance, and she too, and collect money and will go every day under the general's window to let everyone see well-born children whose father was an official begging in the street. She keeps beating the children and they are all crying. She's teaching Lida to sing My Village, the boy to dance. Polenka the same. She's tearing up all the clothes and making them little caps like actors. She intends to carry a tin basin and make it tinkle instead of music. She won't listen to anything. Imagine the state of things. It's beyond anything. Lebeziatnikov would have gone on, but Sonia, who had heard him almost breathless, snatched up her cloak and hat and ran out of the room, putting on her things as she went. Raskolnikov followed her, and Lebeziatnikov came after him. "She's gone mad for sure." "She's gone mad for sure," he said to Raskolnikov, as they went out into the street. "I didn't want to frighten Sofia Semyonovna, so I said it seemed like it, but there isn't a doubt. They say that in tuberculosis, that tubercles sometimes occur in the brain. It's a pity I know nothing about medicine. I did try to persuade her, but she wouldn't listen." "You talked to her about the tubercles?" "Not precisely. Besides, she wouldn't have understood. But what I say is that if you convince a person, logically, that they have nothing to cry about, they'll stop crying. That's clear. Is it your conviction that they won't?" "Life would be too easy if that were so," answered Raskolnikov. Excuse me, of course, it would be rather difficult for Katerina Ivanovna to understand, but do you know that in Paris they have been conducting serious experiments as to the possibility of curing the insane simply by logical argument? One professor there, a scientific man of a standing who died recently, believed in the possibility of such treatment. His idea was that there was nothing really wrong with the physical organism of the insane, and that insanity is, to say, a logical mistake, an error of judgment, an incorrect view of things. He gradually showed the madman his error, and wouldn't believe it. They say that he was successful. But as he made use of the douches too. How far his success was due to the treatment remains uncertain, so seems at least. Raskolnikov had stopped listening long ago, as would I. Reaching the house where he lived, he nodded to Lebeziatnikov and went in at the gate. Lebeziatnikov woke up with a start, looked around him, and hurried on. Raskolnikov went into his little room, stood still in the middle of it. Why had he come back here? He looked at the yellow tattered paper, at the dust at his sofa. From the yard came a loud, continuous knocking. Someone seemed to be hammering. He went to the window, rose on tiptoe, and looked out into the yard for a long time with an air of absorbed attention. But the yard was empty, and he could not see who was hammering. In the house on the left he saw some open windows. On the window sills were pots of sickly-looking geraniums. Linen was hanging out of the window. He knew it all by heart. He turned away and sat down on the sofa. Never had he felt so terribly alone. Yes, he felt once more that he would perhaps come to hate Sonia, now that he had made her more miserable. Why had he gone to her to beg? Why had he gone to her to beg for her tears? What need had he to poison her life? Oh, the meanness of it. I'll remain alone, he said resolutely, and she won't come to the prison. 5 minutes later, he raised his head with a strange smile. That was a strange thought. Perhaps it really would be better in Siberia, he thought suddenly. He could not have said how long he sat there with vague thoughts surging through his mind. All at once the door opened and Dunya came in. At first she stood still and looked at him from the doorway, just as he had done at Sonia. Then came in and sat down in the same place as yesterday, the chair facing him. He looked silently and almost vacantly at her. Oh, don't be angry, brother. I've only come for a minute, said Dunya. Her face looked thoughtful, but not stern. Her eyes were bright and soft. He saw that she too had come to him with love. Rhodia, now I know everything, everything. Dmitri Prokofitch has explained and told me all about it. They are worrying and persecuting you with stupid and contemptible suspicion. Dmitri Prokofitch told me that there is no danger and that you are wrong in looking at it with such horror. I don't think so, and I fully understand how indignant you must be, and that the indignation may have a permanent effect on you. That's what I'm afraid of. As for your proposal to cut yourself off from us, I'm not judging you. I'm not going to judge you, and forgive me for having blamed you for it. I feel that if I had a difficulty as great as that, I too would keep away from everyone. I shall tell Mother nothing of this, but I shall talk about you continually, and shall tell her from you that you will come very soon. Don't worry about her. I will set her mind at rest, but don't you try her too much. Come once at least. Remember that she's your mother. And now I have come simply to say, begin to get up, that if you should need me, or should need all my life, or anything, call me. Now come. Goodbye. She turned abruptly and went towards the door. Raskolnikov stopped her and went towards her. That Razumikin, Dmitri Prokofitch, is a very good person. Dunya flushed slightly. Well, she asked, waiting a moment. He is competent, hard-working, honest, and capable of real love. Goodbye, Dunya. Dunya flushed crimson, then suddenly became alarmed. What does that mean, Rhodia? Are we really parting forever so you can give me such a parting message? Never mind, goodbye. He turned away and walked to the window. She stood for a moment, looked at him uneasily, and went out troubled. No, he was not cold to her. There was an instant, the very last one, when he had longed to take her in his arms and say goodbye to her, and even tell her, but he had not dared even to touch her hand. Afterwards, she may shudder when she remembers that I embraced her, and I will feel that I stole her kiss. And would she stand that test? He went on for a few minutes later to himself. No, she wouldn't. Girls like that can stand things, they never do. And he thought of Sonia. There was a breath of fresh air from the window. The daylight was fading. He took up his cap and went out. He could not, of course, and would not consider how ill he was. But all this continual anxiety and agony of mind could not but affect him. And if he were not lying in high fever, it was perhaps just because this continual inner strain helped to keep him on his legs and in possession of his faculties. But this artificial excitement could not last long. He wandered aimlessly. The sun was setting. A special form of misery had begun to oppress him recently. There was nothing poignant, nothing acute about it, but there was a feeling of permanence, of eternity about it. It brought a foretaste of hopeless years of this cold, leaden misery, a foretaste of an eternity, on a square yard of space. Toward evening, this sensation usually began to weigh on him more heavily. With this idiotic, purely physical weakness, depending on the sunset or something, you can't help doing something stupid. You go to Dunya's as well as Sonia's, he muttered bitterly. He heard his name called, looked around. Lebezatnikov rushed up to him. Just imagine, I've been to your room looking for you. Imagine, she's carried out her plan and taken away the children. Sofia Semyonovna and I have had a difficult time finding them. She is rapping on a frying pan and making the children dance. The children are crying. They keep stopping at the crossroads and in front of the stores. There's a crowd of fools running after them. Come along. And Sonia? Raskolnikov asked anxiously, hurrying after Lebezatnikov. Just frantic. That is, it's not Sofia Semyonovna who's frantic, but Katerina Ivanovna. Though Sofia Semyonovna is frantic too. But Katerina Ivanovna is absolutely frantic. I'm telling you, she's completely mad. She'll be taken to the police. You can imagine what the effect that will have. They're on the canal bank, near the bridge now, not far from Sofia Semyonovna's squat clothes. On the canal bank near the bridge, and not even 2 houses away from the one where Sonia lodged, there was a crowd of people, consisting principally of street urchins. The hoarse, broken voice of Katerina Ivanovna could be heard from the bridge. It certainly was a strange spectacle likely to attract a street crowd. Katerina Ivanovna, in her old dress with the green shawl, wearing a torn straw hat crushed in a hideous way on one side, was really frantic. She was exhausted and breathless. Her wasted, tubercular face looked more long-suffering than ever. And in fact, out of doors in the sunshine, a tubercular person always looks worse than at home. But her excitement did not flag, and every moment her irritation grew more intense. She rushed at the children, shouted at them, coaxed them, told them in front of the crowd how to dance and what to sing, began explaining to them why it was necessary, and, driven to desperation by their lack of understanding, beat them. Then she would make a rush at the crowd. If she noticed any decently dressed person stopping to look, she immediately appealed to Dan to see what these children from a genteel, one may say aristocratic house had been brought to. She heard laughter or jeering in the crowd. She would rush at once at the scoffers and begin squabbling with them. Some people laughed. Other people shook their heads, but everyone felt curious at the sight of the mad woman with the frightened children. The frying pan which Lebeziatnikov had mentioned was not there. At least Raskolnikov did not see it. But instead of rapping on the pan, Katerina Ivanovna began clasping her wasted hands. When she made Lydia and Kolya dance and Polenka sing, she too joined in the singing, but broke down at the second note with a terrible cough, which made her curse in despair and even shed tears. What made her most furious was the weeping and terror of Kolya and Lydia. Some effort had been made to dress the children up as street singers are dressed. The boy had on a turban made of something red and white to make it look like a Turk. There had been no costume for Lydia. She just had a red knitted cap, or rather a nightcap that had belonged to Marmeladov, decorated with a broken piece of white ostrich feather, which had been Katerina Ivanovna's grandmother's and had been preserved as a family possession. Polenka was in her everyday dress. She looked in timid perplexity at her mother and kept at her side, hiding her tears. She dimly realized her mother's condition and looked uneasily about her. She was extremely frightened of the street and the crowd. Sonia followed Katerina Ivanovna, weeping and beseeching her to return home, but Katerina Ivanovna was not to be persuaded. "Leave off, Sonia, leave off!" she shouted, speaking fast, panting, and coughing. "You don't know what you're asking me to do. You're like a child. I've told you before that I'm not going back to that drunken German. Let everyone, let all of Petersburg see the children begging in the streets, though their father was an honorable man who served all his life in truth and fidelity, and you might say died in service." Katerina Ivanovna had by now invented this fantastic story and thoroughly believed it. "Let that wretch of a general see it. And Sonia, you're being silly. What do we have to eat? Tell me that. We have worried you enough, and I won't go on." "Ah, Rodion Romanovich, is that you?" she cried, seeing Raskolnikov and rushing up to him. "Explain to this silly girl, please, that nothing better could be done. Even organ grinders earn their living, and everyone will see at once that we are different, that we are honorable and bereaved family reduced to beggary. That general will lose his post, you see. We shall perform under his windows every day, and if the Tsar drives by, I'll fall on my knees, put the children before me, throw them to him, and say, 'Defend us, father!' He's the father of the fatherless. He's merciful. He'll protect us. You see, and that wretch of a general. Lida, tell us droit. Kolya, you be dancing again. What are you whimpering? Whimpering again? What are you afraid of? Stupid? Goodness, what are you to do with them, Rodion Romanovich? If you only knew how stupid they are, what can you do with such children?" And she, almost crying herself, which did not stop her uninterrupted rapid flow of talk, pointed to the crying children. Raskolnikov tried to persuade her to go home, and even said, hoping to work on her vanity, that it was unseemly for her to be wandering about the streets like an organ grinder, as she was intending to become the principal of a boarding school. "A boarding school? A castle in the air!" cried Katerina Ivanovna, her laugh ending in a cough. "No, Rodion Romanovich, that dream is over. Everyone has abandoned us, and that general, you know, Rodion Romanovich, I threw an ink spot at him, I happened to be standing in the waiting room by paper where you sign your name. I wrote my name, threw it at him, and ran away. Oh, the scoundrels, the scoundrels! But enough of them. I'll provide for the children myself. I won't bow down to anybody. She has had to bear enough for us. She pointed to Sonia. How much have you got? Show me. What? Only 2 farthings? Oh, the mean wretches! They give us nothing, only run after us, putting their tongues out. There, what is that blockhead laughing at? She pointed at a man in the crowd. It's not because Kolya here is so stupid. I have some problems with him. What do you want, Polenka? Tell me in French, parlez-moi français. But I've taught you. You know some phrases. How else are you going to show that you're from a good family, that you're well-bred children, and not at all like other organ grinders? We aren't going to have a Punch and Judy show in the street. We're going to sing a genteel song. Ah, yes. What are we going to sing? You keep putting me out, but you see, we're standing here, Rodion Romanovich, to find something to sing and get money, something Kolya can dance to, because, as you can imagine, our performance is all improvised. We must talk it over and rehearse it all thoroughly, and then we shall go to Nevsky, where there are far more people from fine society, and we shall be noticed at once. Lida only knows my village, nothing apart from my village, and everyone sings that. We must sing something far more genteel. Have you thought of anything, Polenka? If only to help your mother. My memory's completely gone, or I would have thought of something. We really can't sing an hussar. Ah, let's sing in French. Sing Sue. I have thought it to you. I have thought it to you. As it is in French, people will see at once that you're children from a good family, and that it will be much more touching. You might sing Marlboro. Marlboro says Vattenger, but that's quite a child's song, and it's sung as a lullaby in all aristocratic houses. Ah, Marlboro's and Vatt... I don't know how to sing that. The said Quandre Viendra. She began singing. But no! Better sing Sue. Now, Kolya, your hands on your hips. Make haste, and you, Lida, keep turning the other way. And Polenka, I will sing and clap her hands. La 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 la, por monter notre menage. Put your dress straight, Polenka. It slipped down on your shoulders, she observed, panting from coughing. Now it's particularly necessary to behave nicely and genteelly, so that everyone will see that you are well-born children. I said at the time that the bodies should be cut longer and made of true widths. It was your fault, Sonia, with your advice to make it shorter, and now you see the child is seriously deformed by it. Why are you all crying again? What's the matter, stupids? Come, Kolya, begin. Hurry up, hurry up. Oh, what an unbearable child. Policeman again? What do you want? A policeman was indeed forcing his way through the crowd, but at the moment a gentleman in civilian uniform and an overcoat, a solid-looking official of about 50 with a decoration on his neck, which delighted Katerina Ivanovna and had its effect on the policeman, approached and wordlessly handed her a green 3-ruble note. His face wore a look of genuine sympathy. Katerina Ivanovna took it and gave him a polite, even ceremonious bow. I thank you, honored sir, she began loftily. The causes that have induced us take the money, Polenka. You see, there are generous and honorable people who are ready to give a poor little woman in distress. You see, honored sir, these orphans of good family, I might even say of aristocratic connection, and that wretch of a general sat eating grouse and stamped at my disturbing him. Your Excellency, I said, protect the orphan. You knew my late husband, Semyon Zakharovich, and on the very day of his death, the basest of scoundrels lent his only daughter. The policeman again. Protect me, he cried to the official. Why is that policeman edging up to me? I have only just run away from one of them. What do you want, fool? It's forbidden in the street. You mustn't make a disturbance. It's you who are making a disturbance. It's just as if you were grinding an organ. What's business is it to you? You have to get a license for an organ, and you haven't got one. And that way you collect the crowd. Where do you live? What? A license? Wailed Katerina Ivanovna. I buried my husband today. Why do I need a license? Calm yourself, madam, calm yourself, began the official. Come along, I will escort you. There is no place for you in the crowd. You are ill. Honored sir, you don't know, screamed Katerina Ivanovna. We are going to the Nevsky. Sonia, where is she? She's crying too. What's the matter with you all? Kolya, Lida, where are you going? She cried, suddenly alarmed. Oh, silly children, Kolya, Lida, where are they off to? Kolya and Lida, scared out of their wits by the crowd and their mother's mad pranks, suddenly seized each other by the hand. and ran off the side of the policeman who wanted to take them away somewhere. Weeping and wailing, poor Katerina Ivanovna ran after them. She was a pitiful and indecent spectacle when she ran, weeping and panting for breath. Sonia and Polenka rushed after them. Bring them back! Bring them back, Sonia! Oh, stupid and ungrateful children! Polenka, catch them! It's for your sakes I... She stumbled as she ran and fell down. Ah, she's cut herself! She's bleeding! Oh dear! Cried Sonia, bending over her. All ran up and crowded around. Raskolnikov and Lebeziatnikov were the first at her side. The official, too, hastened up. Behind him, the policeman who had muttered, "Bother!" with a gesture of impatience, feeling that the job was going to be a troublesome one. Pass on, he said to the crowd that pressed forward. She's dying, someone shouted. Ah, she's gone out of her mind, said another. Lord, have mercy on us, said a woman, crossing herself. Have they caught the little girl and the boy? They're being brought back. The older one's got them. Ah, the wicked little things. When they examined Katerina Ivanovna carefully, they saw that she had not cut herself against the stone, as Sonia thought, but that the blood that stained the pavement red was from her chest. I've seen that before, muttered the official to Raskolnikov and Lebeziatnikov. That's tuberculosis. The blood flows and chokes the patient. I saw the same thing with a relative of my own not too long ago. Nearly a pint of blood, all in a minute. What's to be done, though? She's dying. This way to my room, Sonia implored. I live here. See that house, the second from there? Come to me, make haste. She turned from one to the other. Send for the doctor. Dear. Thanks to the officials' efforts, this plan was adopted. The policeman even helping to carry Katerina Ivanovna. She was carried to Sonia's room, almost unconscious, and laid on the bed. The blood was still flowing, but she seemed to be coming around. Raskolnikov, Lebeziatnikov, and the official accompanied Sonia into the room and were followed by the policeman, who first drove back the crowd which followed her right up to the door. Polenka came in holding Kolya and Lida, who were trembling and weeping. Several people came into the room from the Kapernaumov's room. The landlord, a lame, one-eyed man who of strange appearance, with whiskers and hair stood up like a brush. His wife, a woman with a constantly scared expression, and several open-mouthed children with wonder-struck faces. Amongst those, Svidrigailov suddenly made his appearance. Raskolnikov looked at him with surprise, not understanding where he had come from, or not having noticed him in the crowd. A doctor and a priest were spoken of. The official whispered to Raskolnikov that he thought it was too late for the doctor, but he ordered him to be sent for. Kapernaumov ran himself. Meanwhile, Katerina Ivanovna had regained her breath. The bleeding ceased for a time. She looked with sick but intent and penetrating eyes at Sonia, who stood pale and trembling. Wiping the sweat from her brow with a handkerchief, at last she asked to be raised, and they set her up on the bed, supporting her on both sides. Where are the children? She said in a faint voice. You've brought them, Polenka. Silly idiots, why did you run away? Oh! Once more her parched lips were covered with blood. She moved her eyes, looking around her. So that's how you lived, Sonia. Never once have I been in your room. She looked at her with a face of suffering. We have been your ruin, Sonia. Polenka, Lida, Kolya, come here. Well, here they are. Sonia, take them all. I hand them over to you. I've had enough. The ball is over. Lay me down. Let me die in peace. They laid her back on the pillow. What? The priest? I don't want him. You haven't got a ruble to spare. I have no sins. God must forgive me without that. He knows how I have suffered, and if he won't forgive me, I don't care. She sank more and more into uneasy delirium. At times she shuddered, turned her eyes from side to side, recognized everyone for a minute, but at once sank into delirium again. Her breathing was hoarse and difficult, and there was a sort of a rattle in her throat. I said to him, Your Excellency, she forced out, gasping after each word, that Amalia Ludovigovna, Lida, Kolya, hand on your hips, hurry, glizzes, pass the basque, tap with your heels, be graceful, child. What next? That's what we should sing, Du hast Diamant and Perlin, what an idea, was Willst du mehr, what thinks the fool invents? Ah, yes, in the heat of midday in the Vale of Dagestan. Ah, how I loved it! I loved that song to distraction. Polenka, your father, you know, used to sing it when we were engaged. Oh, those days. Oh, that's the thing for us to sing. How does it go? I've forgotten. Remind me, how was it? She was violently excited and tried to sit up. At last, in a horribly hoarse, broken voice, she began shrieking and gasping at every word with a look of growing terror. In the heat of midday, in the vale of Dagestan, with lead in my breath. Your Excellency, she wailed suddenly with a heart-rending scream and a flood of tears. Protect the orphans. You have been their father's guest. Aristocratic, you might say. She started regaining confidence and gazed at everyone with a sort of terror, but at once recognized Sonia. Sonia, Sonia, she articulated softly and caressingly, as though surprised to find her there. Sonia, darling, are you there too? They lifted her up again. Enough! It's over. Farewell, poor thing. I am done for. I am broken. She cried with vindictive despair, and her head fell heavily back on the pillow. She sank into unconsciousness again. This time it did not last long. Her pale, yellow, wasted face dropped back. Her mouth fell open. Her leg moved convulsively. She gave a deep, deep sigh and died. Sonia fell upon her, flung her arms around her, and remained motionless with her head pressed to the dead woman's wasted chest. Polenka threw herself at her mother's feet, kissing them and weeping violently. The Okolian leader did not understand what had happened. They had a feeling that it was something terrible. They put their hands on each other's little shoulders, stared straight at one another, and both at once opened their mouths and began screaming. They were both still in their fancy dress, one in a turban and the other one in a cap with the ostrich feather. How did the certificate of merit came to be on the bed beside Katerina Ivanovna? He lay there by the pillow. Raskolnikov saw it. He walked away to the window. Vyazatnikov skipped up to him. She's dead, he said. She's dead, he said. Rody Romanovich, I must have a word with you, said Svidrigailov, coming up to them. Vyazatnikov at once made room for him and delicately withdrew. Svidrigailov drew Raskolnikov further away. I will undertake all the arrangements, the funeral and all that. You know it's a question of money, and, as I told you, I have plenty to spare. I will put those two little ones in Polenka into some good orphanage, and I will settle 1,500 rubles to be paid to each one on coming of age, so that Sofia Semyonovna need not worry about them. And I will pull her out of the mud too, for she is a good girl, isn't she? So tell Avdotya Romanovna that is how I am spending her 10,000. What is your motive for such benevolence? Asked Raskolnikov. Ah, you skeptical person, laughed Svidrigailov. I told you I had no need of that money. Won't you admit that I'm just doing it for the sake of human kindness? She wasn't a louse, you know. He pointed to the corner where the dead woman lay. Was she like some old pawnbroker woman? Come, you agree. Is losing to go on living and doing wicked things, or is she to die? And if I didn't help them, Polenka would go the same way. Said this with an air of a sort of gay winking slightness, keeping his eyes fixed on Raskolnikov, who turned white and cold, hearing the phrases which he had used with Sonia. He quickly stepped back and looked wildly at Svidrigailov. How did you know? He whispered, hardly able to breathe. I live here at Madame Reshlich's, the other side of the wall, here in Kapernaumov's, and there lives Madame Reshlich, an old and devoted friend of mine, my neighbor. You? Yes, continued Svidrigailov, shaking with laughter. I assure you, on my honor, dear Rodion Romanovich, that you have interested me enormously. I told you we'd become friends. I predicted it. Well, here we are. And you will see what an accommodating person I am. You see what you can get on with me. Jesus Christ. Part 6 will be read tomorrow, my friend, because that is it. Holy fucking shit. Anyway, thank you all so much. Now that we completed our ID study, extremely good Mirror Dungeon, and our book reading, we're done for the day. Thank you all so much for sticking around to watch. Hope you all catch you on tomorrow. If you enjoyed the stream, please recommend it to your friends. But if you didn't, please recommend it to your enemies. Thank you all so very, very, very much once again. Sweet kisses and goodbye.